This episode of the We Like Shooting Show is brought to you by Second Call Defense, Facts and Firearms, Swamp Fox Optics, Black Rhino Concealment, Polymer 80, Medical Gear Outfitters, and Brownells.
Welcome to the We Like Shooting Show, episode 360. Tonight we're going to talk about Umarex Airsoft, Flatline Fiber Code, Poor Man's MP7, Hackett Equipment Rifle Burritos, Umarex, lever actions, law, everything in the universe, and more. Our panel tonight is Jerambe, Pozderac from River's Edge Tactical. We got Savage 1R checking in from Washington. Aaron Krieger, the Machine Gun Moses, is here. Nick Lynch by my side. My name's Shawn Heron, and I want to welcome you all to the show. Oh, boy. I forgot to write down in the notes what we were talking about.
You said Umarex twice.
I know I did. I f***ed it up. I started typing it, and then I just read it like Ron Burgundy, and now everyone knows. Now everyone knows that I can't actually do anything. I guess everyone knew before then, so it's not a big deal. Aaron, what's up?
Nothing. Just reading up on that guy who died. See if he died of COVID.
He probably didn't die of COVID.
Oh, I'll tell you if he did or didn't when I'm done reading up on it.
You're never going to find out.
Someone will know.
I don't think so. Jerambe, you doing all right? You feeling all right?
I might have broke my finger today.
Oh, really? What'd you do?
Hit it with a hammer like 5 times.
Why do that?
He's like, because I was bored.
Because it was next to the nail I was trying to hit. And after 8 hours of swinging a hammer, your aim gets a little wobbly.
Yeah, but 5 times you would have thought that by,
Yeah, you
the
just
4th time it would be like, oh, maybe I should move my fucking hand.
get some.
Yeah, but you got to hold the fucking nail.
Hold the nail with needle nose, and then hit it, and then you probably won't hit your thumb.
You have a daughter, right?
Yeah,
Make her hold it.
never needle nose.
Or get one of those hammers that has a little groove and the magnet on top.
The problem is it's ring shanks on for sighting, and they bend real fucking easy, and it's like the only good way to do it without having a nail gun, and just whatever. It is what it is.
Have you considered a nail gun?
I literally just said without having a nail gun.
Yeah, I know, but have you considered?
I have a roofing nailer, I have a finish nailer, and I have a framing nailer. I don't have one for sighting.
Well, why don't you?
All 3 of those will work just fine.
No, they won't. They are literally different nails.
How many hammers do you have?
1.
Exactly.
No.
Oh, you need a different hammer for different projects.
It does not work like that.
You only have 1 hammer?
You got how many guns? You only need 1 bullet, right?
Oh, all right, Savage,
Right?
chill out.
Right?
Okay, yeah, Savage, stop.
Nope.
Enough. All right, let's get
into this.
Okay, but seriously, why don't you just go get the right nail gun?
Before we do anything else, we're going to talk about Swamp Fox Optics. They put out another new optic. Did you know that?
Another?
I did not.
Yeah, they put out another. So it's going to be another prism scope, and this one, we talked about the blade a lot actually when it first came out, and the new one is going to be called the Tri-Hawk, and not to be confused with the Tri-Hard, Aaron.
Mm-hmm.
That's all of us.
Which is what Aaron is. Oh.
No, that's all of us.
Oh, yeah, that's true. That is true. So I'm going to go ahead and throw it up on the screen here. So the Tri-Hawk is a 3X all the time prism scope. I like the blade a ton. I like the Tri-Hawk as well. I didn't actually think that I would need anything that it was 3X all the time, but we took it and we put it on that C308 Sporter battle rifle and an AR, and it actually did pretty well. The eye relief is a little bit less than the blade. I prefer the blade's eye relief, but yeah, this one was actually pretty good. Looks like it's going to retail for $329, but if you're not a FORPer, you get that discount from WLS. Use coupon code WLS is life, and that'll take it down to the $250 range. And it comes in MOA, BDC, and red and green reticles. So you can go check it out. If you like the blade, I think you'll definitely like this. It's bigger, it's bulkier, and again, 3X all the time. So go check them out, swampfoxoptics.com. All right, time to introduce, thank you, Nick. Time to introduce our guest tonight. He is an advisor to individuals, corporate, and grassroots organizational firearm, client, and regulatory trial and appellate matters throughout the United States. He's an armorer in just about everything in the universe. Basically, when I read his resume, when I read his biography, it was way more impressive than all the rest of us put together. Derek DeBras, how's it going, man?
Good. It's actually called a curriculum vitae. Get it right.
TV, yes. We're not in Canada. What's up, man?
Yeah, hanging out, just Sitting here in Ohio at 9:45 at night, chatting with you guys, wondering why I'm doing this.
Yeah,
I'm so sorry.
That's a great question. Especially when we argued about hammers for 5 minutes.
I mean, give me your address and I'll be there in 3 hours or less.
Yeah, that's not creepy.
Yeah.
But it is creepy. But also, look at him. Look at this guy. look at Jeremy right now.
Yeah, I don't know. He seems kind of creepy to me.
Head looking like a chia pet.
And it's a fresh haircut.
Where are you from in Ohio?
About an hour south of Cleveland.
Yeah, that's creepy.
Cleveland, not Cincinnati. I don't know anything about Ohio.
Yeah, you don't.
I live over near
know.
Whereabouts are you?
Columbus.
Okay, I'm over by. Do you know where Medina's at?
Yeah, I know.
I'm in that area.
I've sued a couple of cities up in that area.
Yeah, I told you he lives by.
Regina stands for fun.
Does it? So Derek, like I said, your CV, your curriculum vitae, was very impressive. I don't even really honestly know how to start. How did you get into guns?
I got into firearms just growing up. I grew up in Miami County, Ohio. It's a very conservative rural county. I grew up in a family where I wasn't allowed to have guns, actually. I call it the cookie jar effect. You tell somebody, kid, they can't have cookies, put them on top of the fridge. What are they going to do? They're going to get into the cookies. So when I turned 18, I joined the Army as quickly as I could, and my Uncle Sam taught me how to shoot, and the rest is history from there.
That's so weird. You have an Uncle Sam too? Maybe
we all do.
Maybe we're related.
Yeah, we all have a Father Trump, so.
I think Savage was adopted.
I'm going to be honest. That makes me real uncomfortable.
No, I agree. So you served for a bit, and then did you do career just a few years or what?
Yeah, so I went to a small Catholic school in high school, graduated, went to Ohio State University. The Ohio State University is the proper name, I guess. Majored in what I call unemployment, otherwise known as political science. And then I got deployed to Iraq, did a combat tour of duty over there, came back and went to law school in Virginia. Just always wanted to get in the law. And then I realized very quickly that no attorneys in Ohio, at least, knew very much about gun law. So I focused my practice on that. And then we're here today actually talking about it. So I built a business around it, and it's been good. It's been successful. The industry's been very accommodating, and just been a good group of people to work with and for as well.
Definitely. So how did you went to law school, got your law degree, and then how did you get into gun law? Did you start your own practice, or did you work for somebody else for a while?
All right. So y'all remember what happened? I don't know. Maybe some of you are younger than me, but you remember what happened in 2008? Anybody?
I had a birthday.
Right. The economy collapsed, so I wasn't getting a job. So I had to start my own practice, hung a shingle. And like I said, nobody's really focused on guns. There was some attorneys, criminal defense attorneys mainly, that kind of dabbled in it, but just didn't know anything about it. Didn't know how federal law interplayed with state law. And so I started to make a niche for myself and getting felons their gun rights back, and became kind of nationally known for that. And I've taught nationally at the NRA convention a few times on that matter. Kind of mastered the NICS system a little bit, understand how that system works. And somebody gets not a gun, somebody wants to get their gun rights back. I kind of became the guy to call around the country for that. And then I met my law partner, Clay Cheshire, through the industry, and we started representing a lot of industry folks as well. So we're a one-stop shop for gun law. If you have anything from importing guns to manufacturing guns to getting your rights back, criminal defense for self-defense matters, we handle it.
Very cool. I do want to talk about that. I noticed that you're an armor in a ton of different things: Glock, Smith & Wesson, knife, and OPOTA, duty knife instructor, defensive edge certified armor, and precision rifle, AR-15. It goes on and on and on.
Did you say opioid?
No,
OPATA. It's OPATA, Ohio Peace Officer Training Academy.
Nice.
Wait, opioid would be way cooler though. Have you considered being an instructor in that?
I'm definitely not an instructor in opioids, but I am from Ohio, so I might as well be.
Right. Exactly. So that clearly tells me that you like to shoot.
Mm-hmm.
And I
He
think
hates it.
Yeah.
I despise it. It's terrible.
And guns.
It's terrible. So when did you start kind of pursuing all that stuff?
Probably when I was in junior high, maybe a little bit before then. I grew up in a family where we didn't have guns, but all my friends had guns. They all lived on farms, so we go out and just shoot around, just shoot whatever. Honestly, I just was always into the outdoors. Do a lot of hiking as well, and just that's that kind of what drew me to the military. And when I was in the military, I was assigned the M249 SAW. That was my personal weapon. I didn't carry an M16.
Nice.
Carried that in Iraq. Hate that gun, by the way. Just can't stand it because it's so heavy. And you had to carry 1,000 rounds of ammo everywhere you went. So the only reason I don't like the firearm is not because of its functionality, it's because it's too heavy. So that's just kind of how I got into guns. Just shot all around a lot when I was a kid. We just kind of farted around. And then when I joined the military, started to learn a lot more about tactics. And from there, I just I missed the military when I got out. So I started doing a lot of tactical training at Tactical Defense Institute. Highly recommended if you're in Ohio. Done some things with Greg Ellifritz and some other instructors like that, and just kept with it.
Yeah, it's pretty badass. So all the armorers courses, you did that just to kind of expand the skill set?
Yeah, just expand the skill set. I always tell my clients, it's interesting when you hire a defense attorney, most of them don't know they're asked from a hole in the wall when it comes to a magazine versus a clip. It's really quite embarrassing when you ask me, because if you're trying to sell a case to a jury, and let's be honest, when you go to trial, all you're doing is selling a case. You're a salesman. That's what it comes down to. It doesn't come down to the law. It comes down to the facts and what you know. But when you call a magazine a clip in front of a jury member who knows their stuff, they're not going to like you. It's just the fact of the matter. So I always tell attorneys, you got to know what you're trying to sell. So to me, it was kind of like, or akin to being a NASCAR driver who was also a mechanic. You're going to be a better driver if you know how the engine functions. So I wanted to master the weapon systems that I was going to be teaching law on and representing clients on. I needed to make sure I understood the ins and outs of those weapons. That's why I devoted a lot of time into mastering the actual functionality of the weapons and their components.
Yeah, that actually does make a ton of sense. So you hung your shingle out, as you said, and then what was your first case? Like, who came through the door?
It was a court-appointed case in Miami County, Ohio. As a prostitute.
I love it already.
That's the God's honest truth.
Was she hot?
I don't remember. I don't think so. Probably not. If we're going to bet money on it, there's most guaranteed not. But it represented, her. And then I started getting a lot of other cases court appointed. And the first real gun case was a client who wanted to know if his gun rights were intact. They were not. And we had to figure out a way to get them back. And I realized that there was a lot of money to be made in that industry because no one really focused on it. So I really kind of cut my teeth in that industry. And it kind of went from there. And then got into other areas of the law that you look at the end of the day, guns deal with every area of the law. If you have 100 gun collection, you need to plan that in your estate. If you want a machine gun, there's administrative law. If you want to run a gun business, there's regulatory, business, criminal law. It touches every area of your life with regards to law. If you're a gun owner, it's not just one area. It's not just criminal law. It's everything, especially if you're in the industry. So I knew there was a market there that wasn't being exploited or marketed correctly. So that's what got me started.
It's pretty cool. We talked a little bit before the show and you said that you do a lot of stuff with restoration of rights and stuff like that. First of all, how does someone lose their Second Amendment rights?
Well, it depends what state you're in, but generally speaking, well, that's exactly right. Doing stupid or becoming mentally insane, one of the two, generally speaking. But under federal law, there's under the Gun Control Act of 68, there's 9 things. The most common one most of us think of as felons. And the law is interesting. It doesn't actually say felons lose their gun rights. What it says is a felon that's punished, that's convicted of a crime that's punishable of more than a year. And I bring that up because, like, for in Ohio, for instance, if it's a nonviolent, non-drug related felony 5, you're only punishable by exactly 1 year. So in Ohio, you can actually be a felon and maintain your gun rights. But most people just think felons, they lose their gun rights. And that's generally true across the country, but it's not always true, as I just stated. Protection orders. So if there's a divorce, that can lead to a lot of issues. Mental admissions into mental hospitals will cause a lot of issues. And domestic violence is a big one too. But those are kind of the 4 main ones that you'll see a lot of. If you surrender your citizenship to the United States, you can do that. You lose your gun rights, dishonorable discharge from the military, things like that.
So a lot of the 4473 questions.
That's exactly where that 4473 set of questions comes from, is from the Gun Control Act of 68.
Wait, so you're saying that all those times that Shawn hit me when we were...
Well, are you married?
No, but we were living together.
Are you living together in a romantic relationship?
No.
You're probably fine.
We had a domestic partnership.
We were roommates.
Well, it becomes questionable, right? I mean, the law is pretty broad. It talks about domestic violence. It defines it. Then it says, or any other similarly situated person. So there's this giant blanket where they can grab people like you if you were living together and maybe had a romantic relationship and beat each other. That could qualify.
I bet they kissed. Did you guys kiss?
Keep it up, Nick. I'm going to hit you again.
So I'd like to litigate that. Whether or not you guys kiss determines whether or not you lost your gun rights. That'd be a fun one.
Aaron tried to create some sort of romantic cohabitation one time on a trip. I woke up in the middle of the night and he was throwing his leg over me.
I also have had Aaron's leg thrown over me in the middle of the night.
So, to be fair,
if I had
you guys are built like giant pillows. So, I just thought it was a pillow I was putting my leg on.
Okay, Mr. Pillow.
Yeah.
Hey, I didn't say I wasn't. I'm just saying you were.
You got the fucking Michelin man over here.
Oh, man. So say someone does have their Second Amendment rights stripped for whatever reason. Clearly, that's something that a lot of people would want back. And you mentioned that you go to court for some of those things. What basically do you have to prove to get those rights back?
There's 50 different states and 50 different ways to do it. To be quite honest, some states are impossible. Some states are difficult. Some states are easy. Ohio is very blessed in a way. We're a very classically liberal state. So once you're off paper, as we say in the criminal world, meaning you're off probation, you're automatically restored to your right to vote, hold office, serve on a jury. It's not like that in most states. And when we talk about restoration, we're really talking about those rights. As long as those rights are intact and your gun rights are not otherwise restricted, you get your gun rights back. So it's a very complicated analysis, but in Ohio, at least, you can simply go to your county judge and ask for your gun rights back. In some states, you have to get a presidential pardon, a gubernatorial pardon. Some states you have to set aside the conviction, which is what people in death row typically use to get off death row. So it just depends on the state law, unfortunately. But like I said, in Ohio, we're very, very blessed. We have a very streamlined process to do that. So it all comes down to state law. Now, if you're convicted of a federal crime, you're pretty much out of luck. You have to get a presidential pardon, which is next to impossible.
Unless you have a ton of money.
So you have a ton of money. What's interesting at the federal level, too, there is a provision in the law that allows people to apply to get their gun rights back. But there's a liberal senator from New Jersey or New York. I can't remember his name. But every year in the budget bill, he doesn't allocate money for those petitions to be heard by the AG's office. So if you have like a money laundering conviction or some sort of federal conviction, the law says you can apply to the AG's office to get your gun rights back, but they don't provide money in the budget to hear those applications. So they just send them back to you. So even though there's a provision in the law, it's not actually utilized, and it's been deemed to be constitutional, unfortunately. So, well, it's interesting. After the Sandy Hook shooting, they tried to pass the Toomey Mansion bill. You may remember that when all the gun prices were crazy. And in that bill, they actually provided funding for that. I think it was to entice the Republicans to sign on. So you may see that come. And if you see it come, I'm telling you, there's a lot of felons out there that want their gun rights back. I get calls every day about it.
Yeah, I don't want to see anything, you know what I mean?
Hey, Derek, so I've
never seen his wife.
Derek, I actually just today saw Josh Prince posted something about the Third Circuit. Are you aware of that at all?
Yeah, Josh is actually a very close friend of mine. All I know is what he posted. So from what I understand is he had a very large victory a couple years ago. He sued the state on constitutional grounds. And again, I may be misstating the case, so forgive me if I get something wrong, Josh, but my understanding is, so in Pennsylvania, there are certain misdemeanors that bring up to 5 years in prison. And in Ohio, to give you a difference, it's only 6 months is the maximum for misdemeanor. So under the Gun Control Act of 68, when they define what would take your gun rights away for a criminal conviction, it's felons with a potential sentence of over a year, or it's misdemeanors with a potential sentence of over 2 years. So this DUI, you get a DUI, right? You could do 5 years in Pennsylvania. Well, that takes your gun rights away. But how's that constitutional? I get drunk one day, drive a little too fast, get pulled over, and all of a sudden I lose a fundamental constitutional right. It seems just inherently unfair and over the top. So he won that at the trial level, and apparently, or maybe I think he won. Somehow he's up at the next level and he lost. That's all I really know. I'm not exactly sure the procedural posture.
Yeah, so October 2018, they were successful, and then the government took it to the Third Circuit where they reversed the original decision.
Okay, and the en banc was denied.
Yeah, so basically that says that individuals who are prohibited due to DUI are inherently dangerous and cannot avail themselves of the Second Amendment as applied challenges.
Think about that. How many people drink alcohol and driven drunk that never got caught? All those people shouldn't have guns is what that court's saying.
Yeah.
It's crazy. I'm not saying drinking and driving is a good thing. Don't misunderstand me, but there's got to be a balance. There's got to be a nexus of reasonableness. And that's what constitutional arguments are all about, is it's a standard. And that's what's really up for grabs right now in front of the Supreme Court. They've never decided what is the standard the Second Amendment should abide by. Is it just to basically make it easy for the listeners, there's an easy standard, a medium, and a hard standard when you attack on constitutional grounds. And we actually took a case to the Sixth Circuit and argued that the hard standard should apply. And we're fairly successful on that, but we ultimately lost. In fact, the Sixth Circuit at one point said that was the standard, but it was later reversed. So the issue becomes is if it's the easy standard, you're always going to lose. The government can do whatever they want. So most courts right now are taking the middle ground because, look, it's splitting the baby. It's easy for them to do, but there's really no constitutional basis for it.
They say they're taking the middle ground.
That's what's being proselytized by these circuit courts, which is unfathomable to me, because any other fundamental individual constitutional right incorporated into the states like the first, it's always the harder standard. So it really baffles me. But the Supreme Court hasn't taken anything. I got word today actually that the Supreme Court didn't take any new gun cases because Roberts had indicated silently to his fellow justices that he would rule against any pro-gun movement. I don't know if that's true. That's just some scuttlebutt. That's what I heard. So right now, the presidential election is important for one reason alone.
He say that and keep his job.
Well,
he should be in jail just for mentioning that.
You have to impeach. You have to impeach a Supreme Court justice. It's a lifetime appointment, unfortunately, or fortunately, how you look at it. But I will tell you guys this:
if you literally say that in his position, you get buried under the jail after we hang you in public. I'd be like, "This is what happens when you with the Constitution, you piece of."
In Minecraft.
The Supreme Court, and this goes way back to the Murray v. Madison case, gets to determine constitutionality. Fortunately or unfortunately, it is what it is. But what's really important right now for the listeners and for you all is Trump's got to win. And the only, I'm not a big, huge fan of Trump. I'm just not. But if Biden wins, Ginsburg, I mean, she's got cancer. She's going to die. This could tip the balance of the Supreme Court in our favor. The only reason Trump should be elected, in my opinion, is that reason alone. It's an important reason. It could affect all of our gun rights. Something to keep in mind.
Yeah, totally agree, man. It's absolutely insane. So talking about Pennsylvania and losing those gun rights, for that DUI, do they also lose their right to vote?
So I don't know the answer to that question. In Ohio, generally, at least in our state, you would not for a misdemeanor. You don't lose any of those three core rights of citizenship. If felons lose those rights, but like I said, in Ohio, they're automatically restored. In some states, maybe Pennsylvania, for instance, you may not be able to get maybe the right to vote back, but you can hold office or vice versa. And you might have to get a pardon to get those things back. This is all very state specific.
Jeez, that's crazy, man. So NFA, you clearly do a lot of stuff with NFA. What kinds of cases and law do you practice there?
So I started when I was very young as an attorney doing NFA trusts, gun trusts as they're commonly referred to, and that got me into the NFA world. But you name it, we deal with it. People will bring us machine guns that they got from grandfather after he died, don't know if they're legal. We have to figure it out. I've defended people who've put forward vertical grips on Glock 19s and then stuck a car filter on the end as a suppressor because the guy didn't know any better. And the gun store happened to be owned by a bunch of cops, so they called the ATF. Representing people like that. I mean, NFA, anything regarding NFA, because it's so complicated, we'll field questions on and represent clients on.
That's so weird, because when people walk in with a SBR machine gun, they go, "Do you want to see my paper?" I'm like, "I don't give a if it's illegal." I got no way to check your paperwork anyways.
Well, what's interesting about that is actually that's a private tax document. Not even the government can get access to that. That's just like your tax returns.
Like, right. I don't know even if the paper you show me is real or not. I don't care.
Well, I've always heard that. I know that some ranges will ask to see your tax stamp or something like that. And I'm like, I would never show my tax stamp to them. I would go to the ATF.
The only person you have to show it to is the ATF or the federal government, not even the state, unless state law provides you have to show it. All you have to show them is proof that you paid the tax. You don't have to show them the gun necessarily. You just have to show them the stamp.
Right.
If I had a fake tax stamp, I mean, it just seems like it makes it. I mean, the tax stamps aren't really that difficult of a design. It just seems so weird.
Like you could pull one off of Google Images or whatever, and then put your information into it.
I mean,
You can
we're not
literally fill out the PDF, print it off, and you're allowed to carry a copy around with you. I knew a guy who had a T-shirt, and his T-shirt was printed with all of his tax stamps.
So we're clear here. I'm not advising anybody to Photoshop tax stamps because that's illegal and it's a big problem. Just
I mean, in the grand scheme of things, if you use a machine gun or a suppressor in either self-defense or a crime, they're probably going to check to see if it was legal. So, I mean, printing out a fake one doesn't really do you any good in the long run if you ever plan on using it.
No, it just shuts up boomers.
Yeah,
that's fair.
I guess I'd never thought about that before. Not that I would ever do that.
No,
but it was just one of those like, oh, that's kind of stupid how easy that is.
The NFA is real interesting. I teach Second Amendment law at a local law school, and the NFA, you can actually track it through criminal history. You know, it started in 1934 when we had Al Capone's era, and it was passed because of the St. Valentine's Day massacre, largely. You guys know how much the tax stamp costs, right?
Yeah, it's always been $200 though, right?
You ever wonder why it's $200? You ever wonder why it's $200?
What a Thompson machine gun cost?
What a Thompson cost? You ever wonder why the distance on the length of an SBR is what it is?
The old Colt Monitor rifle?
Because that was the average length of a man's arm back then, so you could conceal it. So yeah, it is $200.
I remember hearing something that it was supposed to be 18 for rifle and shotgun, but
I'm not aware of that.
But they changed rifle to 16 because there was a really popular rifle that existed. I want to say it was the Colt Monitor rifle, and it had a 16-inch barrel.
Seems reasonable.
Like, so they left shotguns at 18 and kicked rifles down to 16.
Wait, so the barrel length, not the overall length, was because that was the average length of a man's arm?
Yeah, the barrel. I believe it was the barrel length that was based on that because you could hide it in your sleeve, so on and so forth. It was about concealability. And when the law first was drafted, it included all guns until the NRA got involved at the last minute and carved out what I call kind of ordinary everyday guns, not your exotic firearms that are currently on the registry. But with inflation, someone mentioned that tax would be about $3,500 today.
Yep.
Think about who could afford $3,500 for the tax, and then another $3,500 for the gun back in 1934.
Jeez.
Yeah. It was one class basically could afford that.
Yeah, basically gangsters.
It was rich white men. That's what it came down to. It was a very sexist and racist law, in my opinion. Who could afford that? It was crazy. They knew they couldn't make it just illegal because that would be unconstitutional. So this is actually a tax law. It actually is under the Internal Revenue Code. And the first ATF agent was actually Elliot Ness, or he was one of the first, and he worked for the IRS, the Department of Treasury at the time, which is why ATF started in the Department of Treasury and later, branched out from there into the DOJ.
And Kevin Costner.
Do you guys bravo to Nick F and Josh Mays, by the way. Bravo.
Oh yeah.
Very well done.
In the comments, they're making comments about Savage's Wayfair child.
My favorite part was the comment by Mitch A. That made me laugh out loud. In regards to the length of a rifle.
Oh yeah.
A shotgun. Because it's scaled to Shawn's scrotum.
Hey,
so long.
So with NFA trusts kind of like changing, do a lot of people still get those?
So we had to pivot a little bit. What was driving the trust before for the last 10 years was the lack of sheriffs signing off on CLEO certifications. But when Obama in 2016 changed certification to notification, there was no need for a trust to handle that issue. However, there's a lot of other problems if you don't do it in a trust. For instance, if you die with 2 machine guns, you have to now deal with the courts and the ATF to get the gun transferred to the right party. And the state law and the federal law don't always work together. So it costs a lot more money, a lot more time to deal with that. So a trust is a much more efficient, quicker way to transfer the asset. So I've always proselytized to my clients, say, look, this is a probate estate planning avoidance scheme. This has nothing to do with avoiding the sheriff. This isn't a sophisticated estate planning document. So when I see gun ranges and gun companies selling trusts without an attorney really explaining it to the client, it drives me just nuts. Because I always get these clients that call me and say there's problems with the trust, but they don't have anybody to call, and then it's more expensive for me to fix it. So that's what gave rise to the trust. But really, after that, we've pivoted and we've structured it so that it's handling red flag issues now. We're dealing with asset protection for clients that have millions of dollars in guns. It's really more of a overall holistic estate planning process we go through for gun owners that have a significant collection, which is always an interesting question. sometimes I'll get husband and wives in my office, and I'll ask the couple, how many guns does your husband have? And the wife will say, oh, he's got so many guns. Oh, well, how many is a lot? You know, and they'll say, 11 guns. I'm like, well, that's not a lot of guns.
And the husband's like, no.
I've got 111. That's awesome. Let's see. I guess let's take a quick break to hear from one of our sponsors. We're talking to Derek DeBross of Munitions Group, and we'll be right back. Nick, tell me some stuff about Black Rhino concealment.
Black Rhino concealment is not actually about concealing black rhinoceroses.
That's true.
They actually make Kydex things like holsters, and also some nylon things like wallets, such as wallets.
That's true. Aaron, you recently got your FCS scabbard with the leg strap and everything.
You know what?
He walked away.
I just went to go over. It was right next to me.
Yeah,
he leaned away.
Well, he leaned away. We couldn't hear you on the mic. So
here it is. It's got the leg attachment right here. So
the nuts
strap.
Yeah, but what I'm really digging from Black Rhino these days is, let me see if I can pull it off here so I don't have to move up this whole belt. Give me 1 second. It's this thing right here. This guy right here.
Yeah. I know exactly what that is.
Yeah, it's the triple mag holder. Mine only has 2 in it because I just
I know you got off mic again.
I'm back. So yeah, dude, triple mag holder, and so instead of having the mags facing sideways like you normally would have in a magazine holster,
yep,
they actually face outward, and ergonomically it's a lot easier for me at least to pull a magazine out. They're great, man. It's badass, and it's because they have them facing this way. It's actually just as wide as it would be for a double mag holder if they were facing this way.
Yeah, just a tiny bit wider. So I have one of those, and I've been working with it lately. Normally, I always rain bullets forward, but with that one, it's bullets out, which actually is not much different. It's like maybe a 20-degree twist of the wrist to grab those out of there, and I've actually been really liking it a lot.
Nice.
Yeah, so we've all kind of gotten the FCS scabbard with the UBL mid-ride, the QLS fork and receiver, and the nut strap, and we've really been like, Nick started it off, I copied him, Aaron copied us, and now it's savage.
Yeah, I got one too.
You got one too?
It's a great setup.
It is.
And they just sent me another holster for that same setup. It's got the QLS fork and everything. It's for a Glock 48 with the Recover Tactical rail adapter thingy-majigger.
I gave you that box, right?
And TLR, yeah, you did. And a TLR 7A, which is not something they have listed on their website. They don't have that light or that little rail adapter thingy. I asked Gino. I expected to have to send stuff to him, and he was like, "Nah, man, I got you."
Yeah, which is awesome. Which basically means that any kind of combination you can come up with, they'll make the holsters for him. Go to blackrhinoconcealment.com. Use coupon code WLSMofo. It'll save you money all day, every day. We're back with Derek DeBross from Munitions Group. All right, Derek, let's talk a little bit about criminal defense, because that's the meat and potatoes of the stuff, like as kind of as far as I'm concerned. You mentioned it early on. Like, what kind of criminal defense stuff would you even be dealing with as an attorney?
The only stuff that we handle in our office is gun related, so it's always self-defense. So we don't get a ton of it because normally people like yourselves are not finding themselves in that situation, hopefully. We don't deal anymore with general criminals, but we deal with the self-defense community. So addressing issues of whether or not the utilization of a firearm in an incident is justified or not. That's generally what we deal with.
So what kind of questions come up, and like what kind of strategies, and you can speak from historical cases or cases that you've had in the past that you're not, that you can talk about. What kind of stuff comes up in those? Like, what are the issues that people sometimes get in trouble for?
So it's always the gray issue, where you find yourself in the gray area of the law. We had a client that pulled a firearm. He was trying to assist what he perceived to be a young infant being what he perceived to be abused by an older gentleman who had custody of the child. He thought he was beating the child, shaking the child too hard, so he pulled a gun on the guy. It turned out it was his grandfather. He was disciplining the child. But again, the question becomes, was he justified in defending the life of the infant? We ended up winning that case, but largely it wasn't on the law. We won on the facts. You know, he's trying to do the right thing. He was a pillar of the community, and things like that. So those are tough cases because when you look at the law in a vacuum, there's a good argument that what he did was aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. It's a felony. This guy was looking at this particular case I'm thinking of. He was looking at 11 years, 3 years mandatory. And the prosecutor eventually offered him a deal of no prison time, but he'd eat a felony. And he actually told me to tell the prosecutor, you tell that prosecutor I'm going to pull my RV up out front till that jury comes back with a decision. So I admired his for doing that, and he ended up winning the case because I don't know if I would have the same gumption to do.
Why would he pull a gun instead of just going and slapping the old man?
Well, these are the questions, right? These are the questions.
He's an old guy, right? Hey, what are you doing?
Well, he wasn't an old guy. He was probably in his 50s.
He said grandfather.
And we had witnesses who saw it who were testifying against us. But at the end of the day, the jury saw fit enough that he was trying to do the right thing, and he was trying to defend that child's life, and they acquitted the guy. In fact, they wanted to convict him of a misdemeanor, which is what all along I said he should have been charged with, not a felony. They overcharged the case, which is what's going to happen, I think, in a lot of these police officer indictments. I think they've overcharged them. They're end up going to get acquitted because the law doesn't support the charge. It's going to be interesting to see how they kind of flesh out. Yeah,
there's so much. If I so much as saw Shawn breathe on one of his grandchildren with bad breath, I would draw down on him.
You might be convicted if you do that.
That's have you smelled his breath?
But
they would we can make a case.
Yeah. Okay, Jeremy, whatever.
It's like that Family Guy skit with the bottle of Tony Danza's breath.
Speaking of criminal offense, what about somebody who on 360 episodes has basically talked about using their gun to end another individual? Jeremy.
That's definitely relevant. That's a relevant fact. I think it could come in evidence.
I think it definitely would. In fact, I would give them the recordings.
Pretty sure it will.
That if the prosecutor just had like an hour and a half long audio recording of the person from like a bunch of different times over a period of like 7 to 8 years, just saying repeatedly how much they wanted to shoot people. You're saying that would be a bad thing for that person?
That would probably be a bad thing if they got it in evidence. The question is whether or not I could keep it out of evidence.
You could.
Well, what if that person also had friends that would turn all of those recordings over immediately should something happen?
Yes, that'd be bad.
Okay.
But it's still hearsay, right? It's still an out-of-court statement made to prove an assertion. So whether or not you can bring it in evidence is ultimately the question.
What if those recordings were downloaded by hundreds of thousands of people every week?
Again, it's still an out-of-court statement offered to prove something, so it's hearsay. So again, we have to go to that analysis.
Shawn?
He says it.
Whoa, you see this? You see this?
He's threatening us right now.
Yeah.
No, but did you see that that case in Albuquerque where the guy kind of was really the aggressor and then left the situation? And I'm clearly not asking for like official opinions, but what were your thoughts on that whole thing if you saw it?
Are you talking about the gentleman who was at a rally and then ended up using a firearm in self-defense when the quote-unquote Antifa protesters were pursuing him?
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, look, I don't know. I haven't seen the discovery, so it's hard for me to give you an actual opinion because I don't know all the facts. But from the little clip I saw, to me, he seemed justified. But again, if he started the fight, you lose that. Generally, in most states, you lose the ability to argue self-defense if he picked the fight. The problem with the video I've seen, I don't know who picked the fight, but some states, some judges will bifurcate, if you will, the incident. So if he picked the fight that was non-deadly, right? He picked a fisticuffs fight. But then he's retreating, and then this guy draws a knife on him. Now, the guy who drew the knife escalated, if you will, the altercation into a deadly confrontation. And the argument would be he can now defend his life. Even though he picked a non-deadly fight encounter, he didn't pick a deadly fight encounter. Generally, that argument loses, but not always. And every state matters. State law matters. So New Mexico law in this case would matter. But from what I saw, I mean, the limited glimpse I saw, he seemed justified to me. He was running from them. They were threatening to kill him or hurt him, and he defended his life.
Basically, everybody gets stuck on the fact that the dude who shot, the guy who ended up firing, threw some chick on the ground. For some reason, we don't actually know.
Oh, no.
But at the beginning of the video, there's a video. It shows him just whipping a girl on the ground. And then he retreats. And then a dude cracks him with a skateboard. And as he gets up, he sees another guy with a skateboard coming towards him, and that's the guy he shoots. And it's not actually the guy that hit him with a skateboard. But it's not. But he wasn't in an altercation with those people before.
Right. So you have a lot of issues there, and transferred intent is a legal theory. Whether or not the intent of somebody transfers to another individual, who you guys really need to get on your show is Andrew Bronca, and he's a good friend of mine. He's an expert in self-defense law and represents attorneys actually across the country and helps them as a consultant. I don't know if you guys know him or not. He's really good at this stuff. I recommend you reach out to him, trying to get him on the show.
I've met him that everywhere. I'm sure you guys all have seen the new Bronco too.
No, not the Bronco. Bronco.
Branca is actually how it's pronounced. I got it wrong.
Is he a convertible?
Nope. He wrote a book called The Law of Self-Defense. So you guys look that up.
Convertible two-door.
I've got 2 copies. One of our listeners sent me his book because I said something wrong once.
He's a good lawyer. He's a friend of mine, close friend. He was at my wedding. But yeah, you guys should reach out to him. He'd be a good guest.
Cool, man.
Did you what? All right, let's try this again. What was your opinion of the couple in Minnesota? I think it was
Missouri.
I knew it started with an M.
Which couple was that? Remind me.
The McCloskeys. Pink shirt.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I think they were justified. I think this is ridiculous they're being charged. I do believe it's political in nature. Clearly, I mean, they were on their own property. I think they have castle doctrine in that state. I don't even know if they she pointed the gun at him, which was ridiculous.
She also pointed the gun they also pointed their guns at the crowd.
Right. And they were on private property. They broke down the railing. There's been riots for the last few weeks. So in their mind, look, it all comes down to what the person perceived, right? Did they really believe reasonably that their life was in danger? And I think absolutely they can prove that. I think this is nonsense that they were even charged.
Okay. So I'm going to play a scenario for you. Because
are we going?
Because you're bad at this, and you're going to make up again to try to prove your point when he already said he thinks they were justified.
Well, I want to put him in that position. Would you go if you saw a huge crowd on your street, and it was a private street? Would you and your wife go out with firearms against a huge crowd of people?
No, not tactically. No, absolutely not.
Exactly. All right, that was my only question.
But being tactical doesn't mean you're not justified in self-defense. These are two different questions. I don't think open carry is a good idea either, but this doesn't mean you can't do it.
Right. No, but this is completely different. When you open carry, you don't brandish.
Most times.
Well,
Sometimes some people do.
Right, but that's illegal, right?
It depends on the state. In Ohio, I can carry an AR-15 fully loaded on my chest with a sling and walk down High Street. That's perfectly legal in our state.
Right, but if you start pointing it at people, does it become illegal?
Well, that becomes a crime, right? That's not that's not brandishing. That's assault, is what that is.
Is that assault or menacing?
Well, in Ohio, it's called assault because we don't have battery. It's just a generalized assault.
Gotcha.
Yeah. What about a pepper?
But a what?
A pepper?
A pepper. You've got assault, but what about a pepper?
No.
Jesus!
Oh, boy.
You don't even have kids.
You guys can edit that joke out.
Talk about the.
Hey, Nick, isn't it time for you to go take a?
No, we haven't gotten to Savage's segment yet. Let's talk about the McCloskeys. Every time it comes up, it makes me think of the band McCluskey. And if you haven't heard it, go listen to the song "Lightsaber Blues." You know what? We'll do it after the show.
I'm never going to listen to that.
I do have one thing to say about. I want to know why in the hell she thought that. What was she even carrying? Was that a 380? I don't even know what kind of gun that was.
It was actually a prop gun that they used in a lawsuit against a.
So it was a fake gun.
Yeah,
it was a deactivated gun. The firing.
Oh, that's right. And they tampered with the evidence, right?
Yeah.
The DA tampered with the evidence. So that'll be interesting. That's also unethical if she actually did that.
Well, and the other thing was something about Missouri law says that like it's only brandishing if the weapon is actually deadly, and the fact that it was inoperable at the time means it can't be brandishing. So like
I think it was both guns too. I think both guns were loaded.
So most states like Ohio's like that. It's got to be a deadly weapon, but deadly weapon's got to be capable of firing a projectile by a combustible explosive. So if you take the firing pin out before you drive home and throw it in the garbage, you have an argument. It's not even a weapon, right? Because it can't fire.
Good to know.
But if you rob a store and pretend like you have a gun, you can still get armed robbery.
Yeah, armed robbery. Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't researched that. I really don't know how that works in Ohio.
Like I don't know. I know a lot of states. I don't know if Ohio. I mean, I live in Ohio. I should probably know this, but you're the damn lawyer. But like, if you pretend to have a gun and rob someplace, you get the same charge as if you actually did have a gun.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know the answer to that question. I've never had that type of case. It wouldn't surprise me if the law actually holds that. It wouldn't surprise me.
A lot of states are that way. I just don't know about Ohio.
Do you guys remember from the pre-YouTube days, the security camera footage of that guy that tried to rob the liquor store and the lady smashed a wine bottle over his head and just like f***ed him up really bad?
No, I don't.
It turned out
but I want to see it.
he had a plastic comb in his pocket that he was like holding and pushing out as though it was the muzzle of a pistol. Yeah.
I don't even know.
I just
like, is that it? I thought there was going to be more to the story.
Like the dude went in with a plastic comb and just got up by a chick.
Hey, Nick.
Yeah.
I went to the gas station today and bought a bottle of water.
That's cool. But we were just talking about how if you managed to have a gun, it's still armed robbery, right? They were in fear for their life, so she that dude up with a wine bottle.
I mean, who was on the internet before YouTube anyways?
Dude, break.com.
All kinds of little...
there's
heavy.com. Flash.
I can't.
MySpace.
Flash videos.
MySpace.
I love it.
In Newgrounds.
Well, let's talk a little bit about
what is it? You're the man now, dog.
Yeah, YTMND.
Yeah.
.com.
You're the man now, dog.
I actually love that. That was the Batman. Let's talk about a very recent case. And Savage, I'm going to actually steal this from your news segment. I apologize about that.
Fine, we'll skip it anyways.
Yeah, but not the whole segment, just most of it.
Yeah. Well, when's it going to?
There was a case in Austin, and car kind of turned down the wrong street into some protesters. There was a protester there with an AK. Shots rang out. A body dropped, and like we're kind of getting information here and there, but like, what if you do come up to a situation like that? Do you drive through? Like, are you justified if you feel like your life's in danger of, driving through the crowd, whatever? Like, there's so many different things here. And I know you don't know all the answers because, there's a lot of stuff that'll be coming out. But what do you think about that situation? And what are the things to kind of look out for there?
Yeah, it's a tough call. One, our biggest point of self-defense is concealed carry holders and armed citizens is to have situational awareness, right? You don't go down to the protest. If there's an open carry protest downtown Portland, don't go to it. Why would you do that? Why would you ever put yourself in that situation? So I don't know why the car was there. I don't know if the driver knew that it was blocked off. That all is very relevant, but you're right. We have very limited information. If he was just lost, thought he was in a legal area, and a guy points an AK-47 at his face, then yeah, I think there's a good argument he acted in self-defense. If someone points an AK at your face and you don't know why, that's obviously a threat. I mean, you're going to feel like your life is in danger. You're going to have a reasonable belief that you're going to die so you can defend your life, generally speaking. And I think he used reasonable force, and he's cooperating with law enforcement. So it leads me to believe that he wasn't out there with any malintent. He probably got lost, and
he's actually been released by
right. He was released as well. Some of the other shooters that shot at him while he was running away, which is a crime, by the way.
Yes.
I've defended people who almost got hit by a car. The car sped off, and then the guy would turn around and shoot at the cars that's speeding away. You don't do that. It's called cessation of threat. Once the threat ceases to exist, your timeline use deadly force, self-defense, it doesn't exist anymore. So those people should absolutely be charged with a crime. Whether or not the person who killed the man should be charged with a crime depends on all the intricate facts, and I just don't have enough information. He may have not been justified.
Yeah, I was watching the Austin police press conference today about it, and it looked like due to multiple witness statements, it looked like the AK-47 dude did point the gun at the driver. Driver called 911 and said that someone had pointed the gun at him, and they told him to stay there. It took him and the person who then shot at the driver after he shot the AK-47 person. They took both of them, and they detained both of them, their words, detained, and let them go just while they do their investigation. They did not say, they said that it was part of the ongoing investigation why the driver even turned down that street.
And the other reason that they're giving here, according to the Dallas News, that the guy was pointing the AK-47 variant at the guy is that he was pushing his girlfriend, who was a quadruple amputee, across the street, and he felt threatened by the guy. And he'd given an interview before about how he was willing to shoot, other people, which was not a good place to be. Not a good mental mindset to be at.
That's not quite what he said. What he said was that everyone who sees them is and won't do anything about it.
Yeah.
Right, I saw that too. Yeah, what's interesting about it is my take on this, and this is just my gut, is that given that video and given I know that type of mentality, he probably did point the gun at the guy in the car because he wanted to be a badass and he got killed for it. That's my guess. I could be completely wrong.
I like how his pronouns are now were.
Oh, God. I saw that meme. And I saw
fucking died reading that.
The eulogy meme that said around found out.
Okay. What about this guy in Aurora the other day?
I just saw a passing thing about that. I don't know anything about it.
So it's a somewhat similar situation. So a blue Jeep was driving down the interstate. Some people are saying that it ran through some police barricades. Some people are saying that there were no barricades. It arrived at a group of protesters. The protesters slapped the vehicle and stuff. The guy tried to drive through, and someone in the crowd pulled out a gun, fired 3 rounds or multiple rounds, hit 3 people, 3 other protesters. The Jeep drove away. They stopped a little ways down the road, called the police. The police came and talked to them. Ended up towing the vehicle, and at this point, according to the Aurora Police Department, they haven't filed any charges against the driver of the Jeep. However, they are looking for the guy with the gun. What's great is that I'm reading through this thread on Facebook posted by the Aurora Police Department, and they've got photos of this guy, and they're offering a $2,000 reward for anyone who can give them information on how to find this guy.
Oh, the guy in the all black with the blonde hair?
Yeah.
Oh, I saw that.
Person of interest.
Yeah.
And what's good is that someone posted photos of some other guys that had pistols drawn, and they were like, "What about these other 2 guys with guns?" And someone responded with a photo of the person of interest with his gun drawn, 2 hands on the gun, pointing it at the Jeep, and he appeared to be firing.
What?
Yeah, which is really like the best response ever. Like, we're really not worried about those guys because we have a photo over here of this guy.
Wow.
Did you guys see Louisville where, what was the organization? The Not Around Coalition shot their own people?
Yeah.
Somebody was around, huh?
Yeah, yes, indeed.
Instead of not around, maybe they should have taken a safety class.
Well, and in the previous march that the NFAC or whatever the hell they're called did, there was one dude who's walking around with two ARs, like side by side, like he was going to shoot them together, like that weird double AR. And I believe he even had charged it and it had jammed. So he was carrying around like a piece of 22 AR that didn't work, and alongside another 22 AR that, I mean, how the are you going to shoot both of those at the same time?
Yeah, I looked at that photo for a solid 3 minutes trying to figure out what was going on with the 2 rifles. I was like, it can't be. Like, there's got to be some sort of trick going on here, or like he moved as the photo was being taken, or
I don't know, man.
But yeah, the whole all of
the TFAC totally f***ing around coalition.
All these events in a really short amount of time. If I was someone who taught firearm safety classes or beginners classes as a profession, I would be taking advantage of this to point out how all of these protests that have happened with a bunch of people that are all pro-gun, as far as I'm aware, I haven't heard any incidents of negligent discharges or even people shooting at each other. But all these people who aren't necessarily experienced firearms handlers or owners were having some issues. So, maybe I'd be taking advantage of that, advertising to some of these people, offering a discount,
Yeah.
I want commies to shoot each other. Like, that's what I want to happen. I'm not going to teach them how to be safe and responsible. I want them to kill each other in mass.
Jeremy,
in Minecraft.
I mean, I'll buy them instruction from Therville Black. What's that guy's name? Lucian Black.
Voda.
Voda Arms. Yeah.
Oh, God. That's probably where they trained already.
Jeremy, there's money to be made on these people. It's called capitalism.
They don't have any money. They
bought guns.
95% of them have fucking 22s, man.
Yeah,
and those cost money.
They do. They
Those don't cost a lot of money.
but they cost money.
They do. I'll teach anybody how to use a gun appropriately.
Anyone?
Yeah.
You know why?
Why?
Because I believe in rights, God.
Exactly. So
I believe in rights. I just think commies should kill themselves.
Derek, you guys have a YouTube channel. What kind of videos do you guys do?
So I do a lot of videos just on the law. I usually answer viewer questions almost 90% of the time. So if any of the viewers want to have anything answered, we try to address it nationally. A lot of it's heavily related to Ohio, but we try to break out more nationally recently. So Munitions Group on YouTube is where you can find us. Got about 40,000 followers or so.
That's awesome. I see your biggest video is don't carry a pink gun.
Yeah, we knew that would be big because I have a big problem when I have to defend somebody who carried a pink gun in self-defense. It's just not a good image I want to put in front of a jury.
Really?
I would like to hear more about this.
It's very, very simple. Look, I mean, it's not anything legal. It's just a practical argument. Look, facts win cases, but when I have to put up a pink gun or a gun with, the Punisher skull on it in front of a jury, even if I can keep the prosecutor from talking about it from an evidentiary standpoint, the jury's going to see it. And I want them to take my client seriously, that they were defending their life and that it wasn't a game to them. So when you have a neon green gun or a blue gun or anything that's out of the ordinary, it makes my job a little more difficult. And it's just something that's easy that you can avoid by simply not buying one or not carrying it at least.
So smile and wait for flash on the barrel.
Or the Nintendo gun. Everybody carries a Nintendo gun. Like, come on, put that in front of a jury, see how it goes for you.
What about
the dog was laughing at me? God.
What if I have a Nintendo gun and just like Jerry in that one video, I'm wearing the inflatable Yoshi Mario costume?
Probably not a good idea.
But it's Halloween.
It's probably not a good idea. Halloween's a little better. I guess that's a fact. I can explain it away at least.
What about?
I can explain away a bright green or a pink gun on a lady.
That's a little bit better with a lady. It is better, but still, it's still a fact that I don't want the jury to see a pink gun. I'd rather them see a black, nonchalant gun, like a gun a gray man would carry. Right? It just blends in. That's easier for me to deal with.
Is a gray man like Slender Man?
No, what about like a trigger, or like an upgraded trigger or something?
Yeah, there's a lot of opinions on that, and I take I actually called a prosecutor friend of mine about that, and he said, "Look, BCI in Ohio generally doesn't test triggers. They don't unless the prosecutor specifically asks, and the prosecutors generally know nothing about aftermarket work on guns. And I don't see how it's even relevant to the case, to be quite frank. I would try like hell to keep it out of evidence. I have no problem with a trigger job on a gun or stippling on the gun or any of that. I just don't. I don't think you should be buying ammunition that's marketed for zombie apocalypse. I think the box would come into evidence. And that, again, it's a bad fact. If we can keep it out, let's keep it out. But generally, I don't have a problem with the internal workings of the gun.
That makes sense.
You know, I actually bought that zombie ammo.
Yeah.
I was into the zombie thing, but because it was, as I recall, it was critical duty.
Yeah.
But it didn't have a nickel-plated case, and the tip was green instead of red. And a bunch of the gun shops in my area had a load of it, and it was all on clearance, so it was super cheap.
Yep.
Throw the box away.
Yeah.
Done. That's pretty crazy. Yeah, there's all kinds of stuff on your YouTube channel, like tons of stuff. The Gun Lawyer, which I actually think is pretty cool. I know you guys did a bunch of stuff. I think it was your partner that did it with Iraq Veteran.
Yeah, he's a friend of the firm. Clay Cheshire has known him for a while. Clay used to live in Atlanta. We have an office down there. He's now in Louisville, runs the Louisville office, and they met years ago. So yeah, Iraq Veterans, good people.
Very cool. Looked like tons of great videos out there. So remind everyone once again where they can find the Munitions Law Group and everything online.
Yeah, munitionsgroup.com, or just go to YouTube and type in Munitions Group. You'll find us there. And anything you guys need, just if you drop a comment in any of the videos, we try to categorize those and put them in the queue. And we may get it to it tomorrow, may get it to it 2 years from now. So, but we will put it into the cache.
Very awesome, man. We are out of time, man. I appreciate you being here.
All right, I appreciate it, guys. It was a lot of fun. Let's do it again.
Yeah, absolutely, man. If you come up with anything or if we hear anything, we'll hit you up and get you back on.
All right, see you guys.
All right, thanks, Derek.
Have a good night.
All right, you too.
Bye. I was the last one to say goodbye to him, so if he dies.
One last question.
I'm sorry. What is it?
No, I just came up with it as he was leaving. He said no, like pink guns or weird guns. What if you had a thin blue line gun?
Oh, Checkmate, bro.
Wouldn't that score you extra points?
Yeah, I
They'd
think
be
so.
like, well, we were going to prosecute this guy,
but now, well, no, wait. Actually, they might double prosecute you now.
Oh, with the current political climate.
Because the prosecutors hate the cops now.
With the current political climate, or considering the current political climate, should be a bumper sticker.
Considering the current political climate.
Yeah, I'm not going to do that or say that. Considering the current political climate,
that is very true. Oh boy, it's crazy times. So yeah. Anyway, check out munitionsgroup.com, their YouTube channel, and Derek seems like a great guy. We'll definitely get him back on, and maybe we'll do a call-in show with Derek. That would be fun.
That would be fun.
Yeah. That would be fun.
What if we got Steven Stambolia?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Ross,
you had me at Steven.
Don Maloney,
Ooh.
Ryan Kleckner, and round table.
Oh man,
Wow.
Adam Kraut, Josh Prince.
Savage can only get so.
I can get more, but
Okay,
it's a good start.
The problem is we can barely even see your jeans rising, so off.
What if we did a call-in show with just Derek, and it was called Ask Derek or Ask a Derek, and people just called in and they had oil questions?
What? Oil?
Yeah, oil, like an oil Derek. Or like Derek and the Dominoes questions. They were like, yeah, so how was Eric Clapton to work with?
I bet he'd be really good to work with till his kid dies.
Oh,
When he writes the saddest song ever.
Dude, that song.
I know, right?
everybody cries.
What song is that?
Tears in Heaven.
Yeah. Dude, that's the saddest song on earth.
And
You know what? When that song came out, my best friend in high school got punched in the head, had an aneurysm, and died. So we played that at his funeral.
What?
Josh Salmanzadi. That's a bummer.
Why'd you punch him?
I didn't. My buddy Mike L. punched him.
Did he go to jail?
No, because his parents didn't press charges.
Why not? I mean, I feel like they should have.
We were all friends, and we got drunk and accident. Well, it happened, and that happened.
I don't feel like they were friends because he punched him and he died. But yeah, man. Wouldn't be the same if I saw you.
Oh man, the Eric Clapton Unplugged album. You go from like malted milk to this. It's just a real roller coaster. Man.
That is like that song is sad by itself, but when you know what it's actually about and you see him crying while he's playing it,
Yeah,
like get wrecked.
man, I miss the days. Well, it was before I was watching MTV, but I miss the days when MTV had like
Unplugged. Yeah.
good stuff because there are a bunch of really good Unplugged albums.
I
Like
agree.
Nirvana Unplugged is one of my favorite Nirvana.
You know
albums.
what? Get out.
No, the Swing album or the Swing version of Nirvana's. What was that?
Eric Clapton Unplugged is really good.
Oh, dude, that's one of the best, I think.
Swing version of Nirvana.
Didn't you post that in Slack?
John.
Oh, yeah.
I like how Sean's like, oh, really?
I saw it on Reddit today.
Yeah.
It's getting old.
Come as you are. There you go.
No, it wasn't this. Let's see.
Come as
Just
you
go to
are.
Slack. Just go to
Yeah,
Slack.
I'm
there.
right now. Because the post in Reddit was like, I made a swing version of Nirvana. Someone kill me, please.
Yeah.
And I supported it. Let's see.
Oh God, it's terrible.
Tom and Jerry.
There it is. Okay, here it is. Video unavailable.
No, it's not. I'm listening to it right now.
It was copyright stricken.
Dang it.
I'm literally listening to it right now.
Okay, here we go.
Come as you are, as you were, as I want you to be, as a friend, as a friend.
I hate it. Those are so bad.
Take the time, hurry up.
It's so bad.
You know, my favorite part of watching the Nirvana Unplugged videos is fucking Dave Grohl.
I know, actually.
He's such a fucking nerd.
Yep.
Like, he looks like someone that would have been bullied by nerds in high school.
He got bullied by the chess club, Dave Grohl.
Yeah. And then, you know,
Foo Fighters. Yeah.
Kurt Cobain Cobained himself.
No, Courtney Love killed him.
Well, okay.
Oh,
Something happened to Kurt Cobain, and he grew a beard and started Foo Fighters, and like suddenly he was cool.
Dude, Kurt, yeah. Dave Grohl.
Dave Grohl, yeah.
He's awesome in Foo Fighters.
The power is all in the beard, I'm pretty sure.
I think maybe he took Cobain's brains
Oh, maybe he
and
did.
consumed them, and thus,
Or his soul. Like
Fucking iZombie, what the
yeah, exactly. All right, so now it's time to talk about some gear. But before we do, let's talk about Faxon Firearms. I mean, we talk about them a lot. We have for many years, and I know they've been definitely pushing really hard to get stuff back in. Been doing a lot of product spotlights. Right now, the Bantam 16-inch 9mm pistol caliber carbine, that's out there. Their low profile gas blocks,
so hot right now.
yeah. Their full mass bolt carrier group. I actually was just working on one of those in a rifle today. Their carbon fiber handguards, their pistol barrels, their rifle barrels, their FX19 pistols, like everything. Like they make so much stuff. They have literally exploded. We talk all the time about Swamp Fox and how they're constantly putting out new products. Faxon's the exact same way. They're constantly putting out new stuff all the time. Whether you want a handgun, a rifle, barrels to fix it, handguards, like anything that's out there, go check out FaxonFirearms.com. Use coupon code WLS10 to save money on everything that you buy from them, and go check out their website. It's been updated a lot. They're actually doing a bunch of special rifles. I don't know, limited edition rifles, I should say. Right now they've got the Old Glory Bantam and the rifle and the pistol. They've got a grayed out flag rifle, which is pretty damn cool. And those are available right now on their website, FaxonFirearms.com. So this is the Gear Chat. Savage, why don't you start us off?
Oh, wow. I got to do it this time, huh?
Yeah, man.
So I'm actually super excited about this one. So Hackett is a sponsor of ours, and they were sending us out different equipment upon request. And I was just looking around, and I saw the rifle burrito, and I thought it looked kind of cool. And then I got it, and I was like, holy shit, this thing is awesome. So if you haven't seen it before, I have the link in the show notes here. But here it is. And I got the 42-inch long one. And this is just long enough to fit in my full-length 20-inch AR with a full-length rifle stock on it and buffer system. I've got a 30-round mag inside of it. And there's these two little pockets on the interior that you can fit a lot of like either mags or any kind of other stuff that you want to do. And then the rifle can also be strapped in. This thing is super freaking thin profile. I mean, it's just slightly wider than your rifle would be. And it's held together at the seams with Velcro or, hook and loop. Very strong hook and loop, by the way.
Yeah.
The external part of it is kind of like very thick sleeping bag material, so it's slick. So like stuff's not going to stick to it. But when you open it all the way up, it's a shooting mat, which is freaking awesome. So you open it up, pull everything out, you can lay down and shoot off of it. And then it's got over here, it's got backpack straps so you can wear it like a backpack. It's got a loop on top so that you can hang it, and then it's also got carrying handles on the side.
Oh, who's that girl?
Plus a bunch of different, I think they're Molly loops, and then some stuff on the side here that you can put your patches on. I've got the COVID here, and then the Tree of Liberty patch, which I like very much. That's actually one of my favorite patches. But this thing is really well designed. Like I was just like, oh, it'll kind of be cool, but no, like if you have a precision rifle and you want to go backpacking, like this is the way to do it. This is an awesome setup. You have your whole setup. You have your rifle in here, your mags, your shooting mat, and it's your backpack. It's the perfect setup for it. I just love it.
Yeah, I actually really like the one we have here. Nick, you've used it a lot.
Yeah, it's handy.
Yeah, I like it.
It protects against prickly pears.
It really does.
It's tough. It's like you can tell this thing is tough. The outer skin is super thick.
Yeah, and actually they even have financing. So you can, is it a firm?
Financing? I mean,
Sezzle. Yeah. So you can basically pay 4 payments of $25. They're $100 there. You could buy it outright or get 4 interest-free payments of $25 with their Sezzle, which I've been seeing a lot of websites lately, which is actually pretty cool. So definitely go check out the Rifle Burrito. Depending on which side, Savage, you got the 42,
right? The 42, and the 42 will just barely fit like a full length rifle system. And I have kind of one of the shorter compensators on there, and it's just barely closes over. So you might want to go to the 46-inch just to be safe. But I like the shorter one.
Yeah, we got the 46 actually, and I do love it. It's got the backpack straps, and it is padded, and we have used it on top of like cactus and stuff. And
yeah, what's really cool is when the shooter has the mat on the prickly pears, and they're fine, but then you're the spotter and you don't have the mat.
Yeah,
but you need to get a second mat.
They're there.
Well, I mean, I guess we do need a second mat, but we don't have one. Well, the problem is, Greg said everything we talk about sells out, so don't buy all of the Rifle Burritos except for one, because we need one more.
Yeah, and that one backpack, what is it? The urban assault pack or whatever.
Yeah.
Don't buy all those either. Leave one of those because
I think they're already gone.
I still don't have one.
Urban tack pack.
Yeah, the urban tack pack. Don't buy those.
It's up for pre-order though.
I wonder how many tack snacks you could fit in a tack pack.
So many.
Oh wait, they have a black one. We got the gray one.
I want the gray one.
Yeah, the gray one's cool.
Yeah, I wish I had a gray one. Shawn.
You heard him when he was on that they ran out.
Shawn's like, bring in your one backpack that you have that you use for guns. Give it to me.
So I also offered him another one and he refused.
Yeah, because that one doesn't work.
It works just fine.
It was the guitar one, right?
No, shut up.
I don't want the guitar.
That's a far way to go for a bag.
It looks like a guitar case.
No.
Oh,
I heard they're having the World Cup over there at Guitar.
But it's got like Molly all over it.
I thought you said Qatar.
Like Molly, so you get all high and stuff?
But also, like, I've never understood making a gun look like a guitar, because a guitar is still like something that you would
valuable
steal.
That you would steal.
Yeah.
And who's going to be like, oh man, I got a gun, not a guitar. I'd be like, I got a gun. Yeah, this is
gun day.
The only way I'm going to do that is if I turn it into an actual NFA item,
like
AOW, and I can fire it from in case, like Desperado.
Yeah,
I would do like a Tommy gun in a violin case. That'd be cool.
My father-in-law used to keep a folded stock AK in a tennis bag.
Well, the briefcase MP7
or MP5 or Uzi.
Yeah,
that'd be awesome. Anyway, let me finish this off. The Hackett equipment code is WLS's life, and it saves you 21%. Sorry, Savage, didn't mean to shit on your stuff there.
How did you shit on my stuff?
For a second, I got
in your mouth.
I thought we were doing a read, and then I remembered this was Gear Chat, but I was already talking, so I just didn't stop.
All right.
Shawn is he's kind of going.
Yeah,
his mind is starting to go.
It's gone. It's gone. It's gone.
Damn.
So I hit up Umarex a little while ago, and I was like, hey, so we do a bunch of medical classes. We're going to do a video series about those, and we want to implement some force on force doing some airsoft. And so I hit up Umarex because I have familiarity with some of their stuff, and I was like, would you guys like to provide the guns for that? And they were like, hell yeah. And like, I don't know, a couple weeks later, a box showed up, and in that box was airsoft versions of a Glock 19, a 1911, a VP9, and a PPQ.
Holy.
They also included green gas, CO2, airsoft pellets, hats, all kinds of other stuff. But what do you guys think about airsoft for kind of like force on force or?
What is green gas?
It's so CO2 is a little bit, it hits a little bit harder, and green gas is another kind of propellant similar to CO2. Not similar to CO2, but it is a propellant used in airsoft guns that apparently hits a little bit less.
Is it like argon or something stupid, and they just gave it some gay marketing name?
Probably. I mean, the entire airsoft industry uses green gas in different ways, always to propel airsoft pellets, or whatever they're called. But so we have used SIMS, we've used UTM, we've used all kinds of different stuff. I've actually used airsoft for a bunch of different things, and it'll be in my Medical 2 class. That's the reason that we got these, because I want to do a video series on force on force with applied medical. And I was just
green gas is propane.
Okay, that's fair.
That's all it is. It's propane.
Ooh, that makes things interesting.
Yeah. All right. Now I want some.
Now, well, no, I want to light it.
I'm gonna put a little striker at the front of the barrel so that every time I shoot,
Lighting that shit,
You get a muzzle blast.
lighting them on fire.
So, my thoughts on this is that I actually was looking to buy an Umarex airsoft gun a couple weeks ago, and I've been watching them on eBay. I'm waiting for a good deal on a used one to come up.
So, which one were you gonna buy and why?
The Gen 319.
Yeah,
because I like the Gen 319.
That's actually what I got in the Elite Force. They're about $180, $200. I think that they're good because the magazine capacities are generally fairly consistent with the actual firearms. They hurt, and that's the key here. Is all the force on force classes are. Let me rephrase that. Many force on force classes that are out there, it turns into gunfights, right? Like it turns into OK Corral every single time. But one of the reasons that I want to use airsoft is it's a hell of a lot cheaper than Sims or UTM. It's a lot more, approachable, I guess. You still have to wear all the appropriate safety gear, neck guards, face masks, things like that. But I just think it's a good thing. And say again?
Neck guards for fucking airsoft.
Dude.
Things children run around with.
Okay, hold on a second. Like these are not. Having been shot with these in a ton of different force on force scenarios, they hurt. They will make you bleed. In fact, if I was to go get one and shoot Nick right now, he would bleed.
I doubt it.
I dare you.
Yeah, prove it.
No, he's pulling a real gun out of his bag.
Is your bag a holster now?
So actually, I got hit in the neck with one of them.
No,
and
my holster is a holster.
The only reason I say neck guard is because I got hit in the neck and it made my left side go numb.
Yeah, but to be fair, that could have been heart disease.
That could have been what?
Heart disease.
No, dude, I literally.
It could have been a blocked valve.
I was playing Op 4. I got
your fat. It's a fat joke.
Yeah, no, I got it. I got hit in the neck and it made my left side go numb.
They about it for like 4 days. He's like, my left side is numb. I was like, shut up.
4 days?
No, it went away.
My left side is numb. I smell burned toast. I was like, shut up, Shawn.
It went away immediately, but I think that they are a good alternative, way less expensive, and it does hurt. So my goal is in these classes that people don't just get into a one-on-one gunfight from 4 feet away, that they actually think about what they're doing, because the most important part to this class will be force on force with applied medical. But anyway, I do like the Umarex. We've had one here in the studio, the PPQ, for a very long time.
Yeah. And
we've shot each other with it multiple times.
Yeah.
Did it make you bleed?
It can, yes.
I don't
But
think
did it?
I've welted.
It'll welt you real bad.
Yeah, I like airsoft too, just because, like, for example, right now, 9mm ammo is kind of hard to come by. Also, because of my work schedule and things, I haven't been able to get out to the range as much as I would like to. So being able to sit in my apartment and shoot an airsoft gun without disturbing the neighbors too terribly much.
Isn't Shawn your neighbor?
He is.
Yeah.
But it's a little more fun than just doing dry fire practice. You can actually like see hits and things and whatnot.
They do reciprocate. I think that they're great.
And if you get a target with a trap, you can shoot into the trap and then go buy all your grab all your ammo back, and you don't have to buy new BBs because it just all goes right into the little container thing.
Yeah. I like them. I think they're good. The Umarex, I do have a lot of experience with the PBQ version that we've had here for a long time. Used the out of it, and want to thank them. But we're going to be doing a video series of the Force on Force. We'll be doing all the Umarex guns that we got in and recording those inside and outside, just kind of seeing how they do and what they do. And I think they're an awesome version or an awesome alternative to UTM and Sims, which are incredibly expensive. Aaron, what did we spend in Michigan that time we did that event?
Like $1,200.
Yeah, on ammo.
Yeah.
Damn.
So Aaron got the price
Wait.
list. Yeah.
It's that expensive?
Yes.
So theoretically, if I had like a couple of nut sacks for a 249 with belted ammo, I think they're 100 rounds.
Yeah, they're
With
expensive,
some
man.
ammunition. That's like something worth selling.
I mean, yeah. We did an event in Michigan at Close Quarters Tactical, and Aaron got the prices. And I was like, yeah, that sounds great. And then afterwards, they were like, okay, we need to settle up the bill. And they were like, $1,000.
We ended up shooting a lot more than we had planned.
Yeah. Yeah.
Most of it into Aaron's thigh.
That is absolutely true.
I had it coming, though. I did deserve that.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, I think Airsoft's good. I've used it a bunch of different times. I think it's a good alternative. I'm not saying it's equivalent to UTMs or SIMs. I'm just saying for like where you're doing it in buildings that you don't want to destroy and things like that, that is a great alternative. And
Hey, Shawn.
Yeah.
Are you going to go on Wish and buy the fully auto kit for the Glock 17 or Glock 19?
no,
Which you should, and then put it in the Glock 19 airsoft gun and brrr, right? Would that work?
I don't know.
I mean, isn't that what they mostly sell this stuff for? Is like airsoft stuff?
I really don't know. And I don't want to go to jail forever.
Oh, you wouldn't be forever.
10 years. I don't
Yeah.
want to go there. I don't want to.
Pussy.
Yeah. Anyway, Aaron, or I don't. Where's the show now? Oh yeah, Aaron. What do you want to talk about?
So we had Chad from Flatline Fiber Co. on a few weeks ago, and he had talked about hooking us all up with some rifle slings. Beyond that, I contacted him privately about getting some suspenders made because whenever I put my belt on, my belt falls off. I have no ass. I don't even have hips. It's pretty embarrassing. I'm just basically like built like a
house.
I was going to say more of a toilet paper tube, but
No,
from
it's
the
like
waist
you.
down.
It's like you grab a pug by the collar and stand them up on two legs. That's what Aaron's built like.
Dude, okay. We all saw that meme.
I saw that meme, and that is the best description I've ever heard.
Okay, I haven't seen that meme, but I'll take your word for it if everyone agrees
Get
with it.
that up on screen.
It's kind of like you stood a frog up in a pair of double knit pants.
Yeah.
Yeah, who's going to make pants for a frog?
Remember that? Hello, my baby. Hello, my honey. Hello, my ragtime
No.
girl.
That's one of my favorite. That's one of my favorite. The racist Kermit, where he's like, "Hey, which way to town? Back the way you came."
Okay, yeah, no, that's totally it right there.
Yeah, men over 30 in skinny jeans. I'm showing that dog meme, and it is. That was Aaron.
So I can't keep my pants up. It sucks. So I asked them to make me some tactical suspenders. So in the mail today, I got this thing right here. Darn it. Okay.
That is a padded rifle sling from Flatline Fiber Co.
But I didn't realize it was a rifle sling at first. I'm like, oh, cool. Because it's got a pad in the center. And I was able to loop my belt through here on each side. And I was like, this is really good. I mean, there's no strap in the back, which would be nice too to hold up the back part. But I'm like, this really works. And yeah, so it works great for holding up your pants. I'm sure it will work great on rifles too. It's the stitching is really impressive. It looks like it's double stitched and it's padded really nicely. So obviously using it as a belt holder, suspenders, it was very comfortable.
So wait a minute, you put your belt through where the QD swivels go?
Yeah, right here on the end, so you can make them larger or smaller. and it worked, and it's got a little pull tab here, so I can when I had it on, I could pull this little thing. Yeah, exactly, and it would loosen or tighten it, which was really nice. It worked really well. So if you guys are interested in this and you really need it for a rifle sling and want to use it as suspenders, it actually really works. So it's a multi-faceted product, which is great, and also. Look at the camo pattern, Shawn.
Multicam black. Nick's the one who loves it. I just copy Nick. I copy Nick on everything.
Like that's cool that you got that sling today. I've had one for a couple of weeks. No big deal.
That's cool.
Yeah,
I'm trying to be like Shawn. Can you tell?
So flatline.com, you can use coupon code WLS10, and that will actually save you money.
Yeah, I knew about them before they were out.
I mean,
and I think,
I'm trying. Shawn, can you tell?
So did you just repeat yourself, or is someone playing a video?
They don't have the third strap to attach to the back of your pants, so that your pants will sag a little bit, and you'll get that breeze on your butt crack, and it'll keep it from getting too sweaty.
And as I explained to you guys, I actually don't. What I've been doing is I don't put the belt through my loops because I'm already wearing a belt, and this is going to be something I throw on really quick. So it just goes. It goes over my pants.
I like how it's not suspenders, and he still plans on wearing them as suspenders.
Well, until I get the suspenders from Chad. Yes. Also, they're on sale right now too. So I wonder if our coupon code stacks with that.
It does actually. So $36 for a padded rifle sling.
That is a fantastic price. You're saving yourself a ton of money.
Hell yeah. Nick, what do you got to talk about?
I have. This sounds like something Savage would talk about from the title, but I have the poor man's MP7.
What?
Is it a CMR 30?
It is a CMR 30. So I actually, the CMR 30 is one of the few Kel-Tec guns that I'm actually interested in. And for a while,
if there are any lessons to be learned from recent events,
God, shut up.
I've
hey
talked
guys,
before.
we're watching Recoil TV.
What the?
Oh my God.
I'm Dave. I'm here with my
I swear to God, recoil is the worst thing on earth.
Apparently they are.
How many videos do they have?
Jesus Christ.
Just close it down. Close it.
Just mute the tab. Mute the tab.
Dude, fucking recoil, fucking piece of ass magazine. Go ahead. I'm not even bringing their dumb shit up.
So anyway, I have said before that the CMR 30 is like the civilian accessible MP7, and Recoil apparently agrees with me because they did a whole article where they SBR'd one, they put a can on it, they have extended mags. It's actually a really, really badass setup, and it kind of makes me envious. I really wish.
High envious?
No, hetero envious.
Oh, excellent.
I really wish that Kel-Tec would come out with a pistol version that had that short barrel that was lobbed off at the end of the handguard like that, and then had a brace of some sort, like a tail hook or something.
Mm-hmm.
I think that would be an awesome little package. But
speaking of awesome little packages, how you doing, Savage?
Wait, awesome little packages?
He said it would be an awesome little package. I assumed.
But awesome?
I can only assume. Savage is a great guy. I can't believe you dogged him out like that.
Thank you, Aaron.
Guy. Kind of a but a great guy. Bit of a but a great guy.
No disrespect, but
yeah, it's really cool to see an article like this. It's cool to see a setup and a build like this. I think the CMR 30 is a kind of a badass little gun. 22 mag, 30 rounds, the flush fit mag, or these big ass Stendos that hold up to 55 rounds.
Woo.
Like 55 rounds of 22 mag sounds pretty awesome. That sounds like a good time. Especially
it only charges you like $2 to shoot the whole thing, which is great.
Especially short and suppressed.
We should do one.
It's not going to suppress that well.
Well, 22. It should.
No, 22 Magnum.
Oh,
yeah.
Never mind.
What an awful website, though.
Yeah, all those videos and whatnot.
Yeah, pop-ups, videos. Like, that was oh, there it is.
You found it.
Yeah, all the way down at the bottom. Like, off. And what, like $547?
Let's see. They list the MSRP as $613.
I think guns.com has it for $550-ish.
Yeah, I went and looked at the distributor price, and it is much, much lower than that. I think street price is like $550, $525, something like that. Yeah, the CMR 30 is a neat little gun, even with the 16-inch barrel. Like it's a cool little gun. I don't know if you guys have messed with them, but
I agree, except I want it in 5.7, not 22 mag.
Why?
I want it in anything but 22 mag.
Why?
Because I don't.
Because it's center fire and it's more reliable.
Because you want to pay more for ammo?
No, it's center fire. It's a more reliable ammo, but it's about the same size. I get that it's more expensive. I'm talking about the one that they showed on Recoil was like $2,200, like to set up the
well, a lot of that's
I don't care about
that's in the optic.
But I think it would be cool to have that in a center fire so it's a little bit more reliable. It's a little bit more powerful of a cartridge, and pistol version with a fucking brace.
Yeah, pistol version with a brace, definitely. I don't know that the benefit for me personally, I don't know that the difference in velocity with 5.7 really makes up for the cost difference between and ammo availability with 22 mag.
Well, there's no 5.7 right now.
There's no anything right now.
Yeah, that is true.
Yeah.
So therefore, I was right.
All right. They're paying $190 for the Magpul M-Bus backup sights. Like, God.
Can everybody that listens to the show do me a fucking favor? If you're at a gun store in the next couple of months, 6 months to a year, and somebody asks the clerk behind the counter, well, what do you mean you don't have blah 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 blah? Slap the out of them, because no, we want to do it.
So one of Tyler's cousins was texting me today, and he's like, hey, he works at Cabela's, and he's like, hey, let me know if you need anything like ammo or gun parts or whatever. I'll give you a good hookup. I was like, all right, cool. And I was right about to text him. And be like, you guys have any 223 or 5.56? And then he sends me a text immediately after that. And he's like, by the way, you know where to get any 5.56 or 223? I was like, no, man.
Yeah, from you.
I was about to ask you.
That's awesome. All right. That'll do it for Gear Chat. Let's talk about sexiness.
What you gonna do now?
Lifestyles. What you gotta do now?
Lifestyles.
Okay.
That was so confusing when you moved the camera and it was all you, and then you took Nick right out of there.
Okay, but Shawn, you got to send me the stingers.
My shorts are falling down.
I keep asking you for the stingers.
What do you need them for?
So that I can do a cappella versions.
Oh. They're on the hard drive.
The hard drive?
Remind me when we're not recording a show. God, and I'll do it. So who is this Mert guy that's just been pasting craziness in the chat?
I'm surprised you haven't banned him yet, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I'm not hating it. It's not the worst thing I've ever seen.
Okay. That's true.
But it's kind of weird.
The worst thing we've ever seen is that video I posted in the cult group a couple hours ago. Romeo and Juliet.
I didn't watch it.
Oh, God. And that says everything you need to know. Brought to you by Brownells. Aaron, have you been to Brownells lately?
No, I haven't. And I'll tell you why.
Why? Tell me.
Because the same reason why our topic for tonight is training ideas for people with no ammo.
What do you mean?
I can't. Does Brownells have ammo?
I don't know.
Well, take a look.
All right. So we'll go handgun ammo. We'll go special filters in stock. We'll go cartridge. No. Unless you're like 45 auto, 357 SIG, 40 Smith & Wesson, 10 millimeter.
So at work, we had a box come in, and the box fell on the ground and it exploded, right? And out of the box came 3 huge bags of ammo.
Oh.
But and me and this other guy who's a former Marine, we both just stared at it and we're like, our eyes just got huge, and then we both laughed because we're like, oh, it's 300 blackout. You know? And then the other day I had it was like 8 boxes of big ammo come through, and I'm like, oh sweet, someone's going to have ammo in stock. I look at it, it's all 40.
Oh,
dude, I almost wish I hadn't sold my 40 now.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, there's ammo out there, but not what I'm looking for.
Yeah, that does stink. It's stuff, but you know what they do have? They have tons of other stuff.
They do. But let's talk about training. What are you guys doing to stay fresh, training wise, if you don't want to spend the ammo that you have? Because it definitely seems like a finite resource at this point.
I mean,
it is.
Dry fire.
I want to be like, well, I use the Cool Fire Trainer and the CERT and the Laser X app and the Mantis X. I don't do anything. I don't have time for anything.
Yeah, well, I see you shooting actual rounds out there, so
yeah.
I know you.
Well, yeah, because thank God I built up a stock of ammo so we can do reviews. What?
Right.
I know. I'm laughing at me and Nick's conversation.
I know my phone's just like flipping here.
My first experience with a brush hog was an old man that was a friend of my dad's came over to mow down a bunch of weeds at a house that they'd just bought.
Mm-hmm.
And he knocked down our back fence because he wasn't paying attention to what he took out like 4 fence posts and knocked down our privacy fence between us and our neighbor. It was great. But I've been doing a lot of dry fire practice. Tyler's been watching some dumb Netflix reality shows about like getting married to people you don't know or whatever.
The Bachelor?
No, it's like Married at First Sight or something like that.
And then
I hate it.
Divorced 5 days later.
Pretty much, yeah. I hate it. And I feel like she's trying to send a message, but I'm ignoring it because I'm obtuse. But I've been shooting the out of all those people.
Doing dry fire?
Yeah.
Right?
No, live fire.
That's what you do when you're watching TV. Just click.
I Elvis that.
Sometimes I wish it was live fire. I'm like, hey, it's my TV. I brought it into this home. I'll take it out.
Actually, but I mean, Airsoft is decent as well, man.
Well, I thought that was really appropriate. Yeah, because you guys are talking Airsoft stuff.
Yeah, but if you shoot your TV with Airsoft, it'll still get.
So here's the fun part: if you have an old glass TV, you can shoot it with Airsoft.
That's
if
true.
you have a new TV, you cannot.
You can shoot it with Airsoft until one day you can't.
And you'll
Boy,
know.
I keep losing pixels, and I don't know why.
But I have like an old plasma TV. That's our primary TV. You guys are saying if I shoot that with Airsoft, it'll probably break, right?
Yeah.
Like Airsoft won't penetrate through the TV and cause like an issue in the neighborhood.
No.
But you guys are saying there's hope.
Yes.
No.
That I can destroy the TV. Okay, cool. All right.
Yeah.
I'll be like, oh man, I'm sorry. I didn't know the airsoft gun was loaded. Good thing it was just an airsoft gun and not a real one.
on a different topic, but kind of along the same lines as lifestyle. My son, he's really getting into knives. Oh my god, he's like every day. It's like, did you see this knife? He shows me a picture. I got him a butterfly knife trainer.
Nice.
Yeah, because I'll be nice. You two guys are spending a lot of time together.
You're supposed to have scars.
So, and the funny thing is, I'm like, okay. I'm like, that's like the most impractical knife you can have, I'm like, okay, open the blade, and I'll open this blade on this assist open. I swear to God, we both opened it at the same time. I'm like, all right, well, I beat you.
So you know where butterfly knives came from?
Philippines.
The Philippines?
They were for sailors.
Bala songs.
Yeah, it was for sailors. If you were holding on to like the rope on a ship with one hand and you only had one hand to open a knife up, butterfly knives.
Gotcha.
So like, yeah, they just, spring steel didn't really exist back in the day like it does now. And that was one of the, and people just like them because you can do tricks with them.
Yeah, so I mean, he's gotten really good with it, but he wants a real one now, and I just don't want to spend the money, to be honest with you.
I don't want to get just a fucking like.
You can get them at gas stations.
I thought they were created by the Filipinos because you could carry a large blade in a very small package.
No,
they are Filipino.
I know, but it's insane. It was for sailors, if I remember correctly.
I think you're wrong on this one.
I might be, but as far as I'm aware, I thought it was.
You out, Jeremy.
I think it's older than you think that it is.
I think I'm looking.
I want to say I read this on like a Wikipedia binge. Like
I'm
years
going
ago.
there right now.
I want to say I'm looking at the Wikipedia page right now,
dude.
Okay.
You can get
from the Philippines.
You can get butterfly knives on Amazon for $13, but more importantly, you can get butterfly knife combs on Amazon for $9.
Are those 13
combs?
Are those $13? Those are all trainers on Amazon. I wasn't able to find any bladed ones on Amazon.
No, I literally.
There were some real ones.
Yeah.
Were there really?
But here's the thing: get the trainer first.
Yeah, and I actually bought like a double trainer set, so you got two different trainers.
So, as someone who got the trainer first, if I had gotten the real one first, I would have stabbed myself in the and so many times that it wouldn't even be funny. The trainer's worth it. It really is.
But yeah, he's looking at so many different knives these days. It's hilarious.
I never got the trainer. I always had just the butterfly knife.
Yeah.
And I never cut myself.
Actually, my first pocket knife was a knife from a little Ballistic from Smoky Mountain Knife Works.
Nice.
Like we went to the store and picked it up like with my dad, and he let me play with it, but he wouldn't let me have it till we got home. This was like pre-K. And then I remember like he went into the garage and I followed him in there and he took the edge off with a file and then he gave it to me and I still have it.
Really?
Yeah.
Hey, Nick.
What?
Off the Wikipedia page. However, how it was introduced to the Philippines is unknown. There are theories that it may have been introduced by sailors in the Spanish Empire, which was then allied to France. So that's probably where I saw it. That's where I saw it. I realize it's just a theory, but I knew I read that somewhere.
A knife theory. Yeah,
that's fine.
You guys get,
but it's not like I'm crazy.
All right. No, you're crazy, Jerambe. But yeah, the ball song's cool. It's a cool little knife.
Yeah, it is.
That's
yeah. I agree, Roden, because some of the tricks require that you have the dull edge because you don't want to have a sharp edge against your fingers.
So I did order the comb just now. So
and you ordered me a knife too. That's so nice of you.
Comb on my beard.
You're gonna. Oh, that sounds so gross. Is Nick gonna put it there?
What?
Oh, you said comb on your beard. I misheard you.
So where I grew up,
that's a show title right there.
We were allowed to carry knives at school, right? And I remember a bunch of kids carrying but there was a blade restriction of like 3 inches or something like that. I remember kids carrying like the stiletto combs and like acting like they were super cool because they had a bigger knife, but then it was actually a comb if they got called out on it.
Right.
I always thought those kids were.
I was gonna say everybody where I grew up just had like an old timer.
Yeah. What's funny is I remember running around with a buck knife, like the old with the
old timer buck shade.
That is, yeah.
We used to go to the flea market and just buy that kind of stuff. They had AK mags. I remember like the banana style clips or magazines.
I remember just buying it at like Walmart.
They had those decommissioned grenades. There always were and helmets there at the flea market.
Yeah.
Good times.
Good.
I didn't have a good flea market, but I had a really awesome Army Navy store.
We did have we had Whitey's.
Oh,
that's
God.
racist.
It was called Whitey's Army Navy.
Ours was just called Army Navy.
Not even surprised.
They still have really.
They also sold these white robes. It was really crazy.
They were uniform store, dude. If you want to go get camp and stuff, it was awesome. They always had knives and.
Oh my God!
The Nazi flags and
they had a lot of flags.
I remember seeing a Nazi flag.
I went to the Army Navy store up the street to get a J-arm for my Rhino mount, and yeah, he's like talking about COVID and everything's fake, and
the South will rise again.
We just laughed. We like bought that. I was with Mike, and we like,
oh yeah, like Lobster Mike.
Yeah, Mike straight up cut that dude off in the middle of a sentence and was like, "All right, let's go." It was awesome.
I did that once when Tyler and I first got together. We went into a store and there was a guy I used to work with that I hated, and his dad had gone out hunting and had a heart attack and leaned up against a tree and died.
Oh,
and they found him like 2 weeks later.
Oh no.
We went into this store and bumped into this guy. I mean, it was fall, so cold day.
So at least it wasn't like 100 degrees in 2 weeks later.
No, it could have been worse. So we went into a store and bumped into this guy where he was working, and he was like, "Oh, hey man, how's it going?" And I was like, "I don't like you, but I'll be polite." And then he started talking about his dad, and he was like, "Yeah, it's been a year to the day, and we're gonna go up and like spread his ashes this weekend where we found his body." And I was like, "That's cool, man. So can we check out?" He was like starting to choke up and cry and stuff.
Oh boy!
I was like, "Yeah, so can we check out?" Or and he was like, "Yeah." And he like rang us out, and I was like, "Cool, have a good one." Like, walked out, and I was like, "That's cold," and I was like, "I hate that guy."
That's so sad.
Anyway, check out brownells.com. shooting.com/sponsors and click the link to give us credit. Savage, are you okay?
That was the best. That was so Best throw. Segue. Wow.
Don't watch us on Twitch. Get a Real Job 45. I love your guys' podcast. Thank you. Thank you for listening.
All our Army Navy stores were also head shops. I feel like
I want to go to a head shop.
I feel like I missed out because that sounds like
wait. There's a shop.
No,
go to get head.
I can go in and buy like a bayonet,
Starbucks,
and some of those like inflatable winter boots,
and some rolling papers,
and also some rolling papers and a roller. Like that sounds really interesting. I want to go to that store.
We all want a Starbucks. It's time to go ballistic with Savage 1R. We already talked about the story about the AK dude in Austin, Texas, but that is a perfect opportunity to mention second call defense. Like that guy in that car, like right now, he's hoping that he has some kind of self-defense insurance, right? So you turn down the wrong road. Bunch of protesters start beating on your car. And some dude walks up to the driver's window with an AK slung around his neck, points it at you, yells at you, like whatever that case is.
Wait, what if he walks up and he's actually using the sling as suspenders and the AK is just in his hands?
Then you punch him in the face because he's a moron.
Oh,
just kidding, Aaron. But no, like seriously, that is that situation. Like the dude called the cops, said that someone had pointed a gun at him. It was a thing. And now it's going to be like, it's not what happens on the street. It's what happens in the courtroom. And this person's going to have to deal with that. The person who shot at the car afterwards, going to have to deal with it in court. And well, better hope that they have some kind of self-defense insurance so they can get an actual attorney that is somebody like Shawn Maloney or Derek DeBross or, any of those other people like Josh Prince, any of those people, like they need a good attorney because they got put into this terrible situation. So go check it out. Go check out Second Call Defense, whether you buy it or not. Like, honestly, this is the time when you need something like this. Go to welikeshooting.com/SCD, get a free month just for signing up. And if you have any questions, let us know. We'll send him to Shawn Maloney. He's coming here next month.
Nice.
To hang out and do a seminar and all that good stuff.
Wait. Yeah. Thank you for letting me know this time.
Wait, someone on Twitch, dude, please eat something. Are you guys eating anything? No,
nothing.
But we are drinking whiskey.
What are you, a grandmother? We've already got a grandfather.
Hey, that feels good, says my hurts.
Ooh.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
My finger hurts.
Stop. Get your finger out your...
Wait.
No, I hit it with a hammer.
Your finger?
Oh, my bad.
Hey, Jeremy, speaking of things, how's your finger?
Pretty good. How's your mom?
Good. Your mom's single, right?
What?
Your mom's single? And she still listens to the show?
My mom does listen to the show.
Cool. So, Jeremy's mom, if you're out there right now, this is a proposal. I would like to marry you. It's totally cool. We can do a prenup. We can get it annulled like a week later. I just really want to be Jeremy's stepdad. So if we can work this out, call me up. Like, let me know. Jeremy's got my number. It's cool. Yeah, let's work on this.
Wait, you're stealing my idea.
No,
I have wanted to marry Jeremy's mother for years.
Yeah, but you haven't put out a call on the show.
I know.
You can marry her after we get our marriage annulled.
Whoa.
And then you guys can get your marriage annulled and she'll go back to normal life.
Get a real job, said I'll date your dad.
Then we'll both be Jeremy's stepdads.
That would be awesome. And then we can high five.
Yeah, and we'll yell at him to clean his room or whatever.
Isn't that called like an Eiffel Tower or something?
No. Hey, whoa. Jeremy's mother is a classy woman.
Also, I'd kill you.
Jeremy's mother is a classy woman.
I agree.
And that's why I'm proposing.
You're trying to make an honest woman out of her.
Yeah.
Implying that she's not an honest, an honest woman.
No, she's currently an honest woman.
Yeah, she is. She is.
Hopefully Tyler's cool with this. We'll find out, I guess. Yeah, Jeremy's mom, if you're listening, you can get my number from Jeremy. Give me a call, send me a text, whatever. Let's do it.
And
we'll go down to the courthouse, get married. It'll be cool.
La Tour Eiffel.
No, none of that. Hey, be respectful.
Savage, what's your story tonight? Dorothy Mantooth is a saint.
So we got a couple bad newses here for everybody living in New York City or New York State. As if it could get any worse, it can. A New York State Senator, Brad Holliman, has introduced a new bill that is going to be the strictest, strictest laws against 80% lowers in the United States. And there's this Naftali Arzu, who basically worked with the senator. He's part of Every Town Survivor Network, whose brother Jose Webster was shot and killed just blocks from their home in 2011. Doesn't say whether it was done with a ghost gun or not, but hey, he's at least happy to sponsor this legislation because guns are bad. So basically, the Jose Webster Untraceable Firearms Act defines a ghost gun as any firearm, rifle, or shotgun that isn't serialized and registered in accordance with either state or federal law. Okay. Prohibits the possession of ghost guns by anyone but a licensed gunsmith. Prohibits the sale of ghost guns entirely. Prohibits the manufacture or assembly of a firearm, rifle, or shotgun by anyone other than a licensed gunsmith. Now, that one's going to get really freaking tricky. I'll get back to that. And then requires New York gunsmiths to serialize all firearms, rifles, or shotguns, unfinished frames, or receivers they manufacture, assemble, and register any such gun, frame, or receiver that isn't otherwise covered by federal serialization law with the Division of State Police. So I'm going to go back to the prohibits the manufacture or assembly of a firearm, rifle, or shotgun by anyone other than a licensed gunsmith. Do you freaking understand what that means? It means anytime you want to put any part onto a freaking gun that you own, you have to take it to a gunsmith.
Yeah, anything other than maintenance and cleaning.
Yeah. Oh my freaking God. What kind of shit is this? So I'm willing to bet somebody, if this passes, is going to probably bring a lawsuit because that is fucking ridiculous. I mean, that's saying you can't do anything to a gun that you own that would be normally completely legal in every single other state and federally. Oh my God, that is so totalitarian and just fascistic. My God. So anyways, these guys right up, and I hope they die in a fire in Minecraft. In Minecraft.
No, you can just hope people die. You're allowed to hope people die in real life. That's not a legal thing. You can just say, I hope that guy dies.
Do you guys remember Running Bear?
Personally, yes. He was a great guy.
I hope
Kind of but a great guy.
From Reddit?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Running Bear. Yeah.
Something about themselves with a rake.
With the rake, yeah.
Dying in a fire.
Yeah.
Then he worked for Ruger and he got really boring. Got rid of his account and got a new one.
Really? I didn't remember that part of the story. He was a legend, though.
At that point, that part was quiet, but it's not anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, it also happened like 8 years ago, so
yeah.
I'm sad. Poor Running Bear.
Aaron, is that you just talking to yourself on Twitch?
No, it's not. It's actually kind of funny. I'm reading it, but I don't have anything to add to the Running Bear story or to any of Savage's news stories. I am sorry.
We broadcast on Twitch every week for whatever reason. No one ever watches, and suddenly we've got several people commenting from Twitch.
They're all Aaron.
It's got to be.
Do you guys remember HCE?
Yeah, Hotel Essex.
Yeah, I loved that guy.
He
was like a skateboarding Muslim computer programmer.
I'm still friends with him on Facebook.
Are you really?
Yeah.
Oh, that dude was awesome.
I'm actually in a weight loss group with him too. Like, he's a good dude. It's not a good weight loss group.
Wait, give me his contact info when you get a chance.
Yeah, you should. You should be like him.
I actually know his real identity.
Yeah, you should
dox that dude right now. Dox him.
No, I will not.
Don't dox him. Speaking of doxing, that leads into our next story.
See, I did that for that reason.
So that New York is crazy, by the way.
Wait, I knew that.
Oh, the first New York one, yes.
Yeah, that totally is.
Okay.
Anyways, moving on to the next story. So, New York judge orders NYPD to give the Daily News the name, zip code, and license category of all persons to whom the city granted a firearm license during the calendar year 2018.
Oh, man.
What the absolute... This is insanity. So, I mean, it's not the first time that a bunch of gun owners in New York have been doxxed by a seriously irresponsible publication, but it's just more evidence. It's like, you know what? these people have no respect for anybody. They're putting people in danger because they're going to publish this. And when they publish people's names and zip codes, it's not exactly hard to figure out what kind of, what their address is. And because it's going to give the information about the guns they own or the firearm licenses they have, the burglars, the criminals will know these people have guns and can target them. That's ridiculous. It's so goddamn irresponsible. And the last time this happened, that publication.
Yeah, dumb. They want that to happen so they can say, "Oh, look at the problems."
Yeah, themselves were doxxed, and you know what? Yeah, dox these back. I say, they should get as good as they're giving.
Really?
If you're going to play stupid games, you're going to win stupid prizes.
What do you consider a stupid game? Because I want to know what's a stupid prize?
Shoots and Ladders is a stupid game.
Really?
What's the prize?
As is Eels and Escalators.
Okay, so those are great games for learning how to count for little kids.
Apples to Apples.
That's a stupid game, but there's no prizes.
Guess Who is a racist game. It's stupid.
That's kind of true, but you do win stuff.
I just realized Savage's name on here is Savager.
I forgot the one.
Yeah.
That's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Oh man, why is Twitch so active? I'm a little worried.
I know. I'm like, that's weird.
What is Twitch?
I shot my uncle once.
But Shawn has these days because he's getting so old.
I won a gun at an elementary fundraiser.
So
Twitch is me after I take caffeine pills.
Right.
So we did an auction at my kids' Montessori school a while back when you
Of course, your kids go to a Montessori school.
They did. Now they moved into a private school. But anyhow, when they were into Montessori school, all the people have to get together and like, hey, do you guys want to donate something? I'm like, I got guns. They're like, oh, that's great because the community I live in, they love guns. So yeah, just saying.
Nice.
Yeah, good for your community.
Yes,
that is good.
Your communist community.
So Savage, I say for the the Daily News, I say anyone who has their information, let's dox their reporters,
post it,
their publishers, their editors, everyone.
Yep.
You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take that list and I'm going to use it to target advertisements at those individuals.
That's cancel culture.
Is it?
Yeah.
What?
So according to my holster,
that's not cancel culture.
Cancel culture. So according to my holster, which actually reads about, but that's
the definition of cancel culture on the back.
God,
but I can't read it because it's I'm trying to read it. But.
I love Black Rhino concealment.
Yeah, they're great.
Yeah. Anyhow, you know what? Do two wrongs make a right, guys?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Two rights make a left. Oh.
No, two rights make another right.
Three right. I don't know.
Three rights make a left.
Yeah, three rights, not two.
Oh, yeah. Hey, you're right.
All right, so let's talk real quick about medicalgearoutfitters.com. This is Skinny Medics company. Did you know that?
I did.
Tell me what else you know then.
They sell medical supplies.
They do. They sell all of them. They sell medical kits, medical supplies. We've put out a challenge recently.
Wait, all of them?
I heard you put out all the time.
So I once got paid.
I do.
I once got paid to do what I thought was going to be essentially bodyguard work.
Yeah.
But instead, I protected a machine that did some sort of plastic surgery on children with a cleft palate.
Okay.
I got paid to like protect this machine overnight because it was small and somewhat portable and very, very expensive. Does he have those?
I don't know.
Does he or does he not?
I don't know.
I'm so. What are we talking about?
It sounds like he doesn't have all the medical supplies, Shawn.
I think he does, though.
Is it that machine that passes out pills? Is that what you're talking about?
No,
I don't even know what you're talking about.
No, those are pretty handy though, especially if you have a.
So
I love a.
The last few weeks, we've been talking about specific components to your medical kits. We talked about buy a cat tourniquet. We talked about buy some kind of hemostatic gauze. So, Nick, that's going to be managing our massive blood loss.
Was I supposed to buy a cat?
Yeah.
I bought a rat.
No. God.
Oh, I just thought you said we were fat.
Well, we are.
I did.
I bought a bungee cord. That's a rat's tourniquet, right?
Don't do that. Go buy a cat.
Shit.
He doesn't.
What kind? So I bought a Persian cat and a hairless cat. Which one works better?
Neither.
Well, the Persian's cross-eyed, so it has a hard time finding its way to you. But
The hairless one would seem like there's less issue with that because there's more skin-to-skin contact.
But then you like pet it, and it just.
So we
feels
talked
gross.
about buying a cat tourniquet. We talked about buying some kind of hemostatic gauze. This week, we're moving on from blood loss,
Okay.
and we're going to talk about airway. And one of the best ways to get an open airway is NPA, nasopharyngeal airway.
I've had so many of those things shoved up my nose,
I
but
know.
none of those have ever been pre-lubricated. Sean, what the dude?
These are pretty new. I've got a ton of them now. Have them in all my kits. They are pre-lubricated. You don't have to have the little packet.
KY.
Astroglide.
Yeah. The little thing, Astroglide.
A little thing of spermicidal lube.
Exactly. Now I can shove this directly into your throat hole from your nose hole, and don't even need to apply anything else. So yeah, the pre-lubricated MPAs, number 28 French, and they're $6.99 at Medical Gear Outfitters. But wait, just 1 second.
There's more.
There's more.
10020.
Code We Like Shooting saves you more than any other coupon code. That Civilian Medical Podcast.
Whoa.
Code.
Language. It's an ad read.
No, that.
No, you can't say that.
Use the WLS code. It saves you more money. We Like Shooting is the code. We need to be number one. If we're not number one, we're nothing. Shawn, have you tested this on yourself? I have done an MPA on myself, yes.
So the funny thing is I actually carry a water bottle just in case someday something happens and I have to do one of these on you or Aaron.
Yeah.
Then I'll wash the lube off with the water bottle. And just throw them dry.
Good.
So wait, that goes in your nose? Because I've been putting that in my urethra for a while now.
Yeah, no, you're using it wrong, man.
Okay, that's good because the stream just comes right out faster.
Yeah, not a catheter.
I have had in my life over 30 MPAs.
I thought you were going to say over 30 catheters.
No, I do those every day.
Oh, geez.
Keeps you clean.
Mm-hmm.
What?
I had I swear to God, I had a nurse threaten to put a catheter in me. And I have never behaved more in my life. I was like, okay, I'll be good. I'm sorry.
Does he have catheters on that website, Shawn?
I don't know.
Have you seen the catheter ads on TV?
I don't know. You have to go there. You have to go to medicalgearoutfitters.com. Use coupon code We Like Shooting. It'll save you 11% if they have catheters. If not, everything else that they have.
And Nick F, I have no freaking idea, man. I mean, my only guess is just because Bitcoin's pumping.
You know what? You guys can have a private chat off screen.
Wait, pumping?
It's positively Pozderac, positively Pozderac.
All right. It's time for some reviews. Jeremy, when did you get a haircut?
Last week?
Did you do it yourself?
No.
You should.
Did you pay someone to do that for you?
I did.
Dude,
Okay.
that's like $20 wasted.
Yeah.
I got my own hair.
If you,
Caroline says she's had a catheter placed in her neck.
I don't think you're supposed to pee that way.
Yeah.
No, it's different.
You guys don't know about the fourth hole?
Oh, it's just a neck.
Wait, I'm just like, what is that?
Neck urethra.
It's not two girls, one cup. It's
Look, if you got a sharp enough knife, you can pretty much any part of the human body.
I think
I'm
I
just
think two
thinking-
girls, one catheter sounds like ground.
sounds like drowning.
No, that sounds like a reason to sue the hospital.
She got she got
That sounds like that's how you get a staph infection. Actually, sterile. Your urine's pretty sterile, so I don't know. Actually,
Is it though? I've heard that it's not as sterile as people claim it is.
Urine is sterile until the exact moment it leaves your body.
Why would anyone get a catheter in their neck so they could pee in their own neck?
Do you not follow her on Instagram? She had a big scar on her arm from surgery, or right here. On her
Broke my
shoulder.
humerus bone, and they delivered local medication to the break. That's not very funny, Carolina.
Yeah, that's not funny at all. Why would you?
Why would you say it's humorous?
This is a funny show.
Get it, humorous.
She
funny?
pulled it out of her neck when the medication was empty because Rebel.
Right, and then she just slurped it up.
Yeah, it's like
get the rest of the medicine.
It's like all the movies where people wake up and they have an IV, and their first reaction is not to disconnect the IV, but to fucking rip it out.
Ouch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just turned the drug up.
Right. My first inclination is when I wake up
Yeah.
with an IV in my arm, I'm just kind of like, I'm not going to move because there's obviously something wrong with me.
Until you pass back out.
Yeah. That's crazy. Did you guys watch that movie with Harry Potter?
Harry Potter.
Guns.
The movie with
Kimbo.
Harry Potter.
Guns Akimbo, I want to see it.
Are you talking about Harry Potter?
It's awful.
You
Oh,
said
really?
it's bad, which means you will enjoy it.
No, I don't think so, man.
No, it's like B movie awesome.
No, it is B movie awful.
I'm with Jeremy. I'm gonna watch it.
I watched it. I didn't think it was that bad.
What's it on?
I hated it. Prime.
Okay.
Is it a Guns Akimbo or
Guns Akimbo, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the premise is stupid. There's almost no plot. Who gives a It's like the movie Shoot 'Em Up.
Okay, Shoot 'Em Up's awesome.
Shoot 'Em Up is awesome, but it's barely a plot. But they knew what they were doing when they made the movie. They didn't they didn't pretend like the movie wasn't what it is.
That's
it
why
just is what it is.
the dude punches a carrot through the back of somebody's head.
I know, it's awesome.
Yeah, gut fight sex. I mean, that was
She said it's not funny how you're saying my name wrong. Carolina. Is that it?
It's Carolina.
Carolina wine
because
mixer. I'm gonna sell so many helicopters.
That's where I make my.
In Carolina.
Jeremy, read 4 reviews.
Only North Carolina.
Oh, I like going south.
Okay.
Yeah, what about Hilton Head?
Okay, well, if it was Lena, then it would be CAROLEEEENAA.
Yeah.
No, she's south of the border Carolinas, and they say weird.
All right.
But like, what's wrong with South Carolina? Like, beautiful beaches.
Yeah,
South Carolina.
Yeah, as long as it's nice and clean. I hate going there and just covered in, bush is.
Read 4 reviews.
They're also small, short. God.
Small.
Will I Am D. Great show with great people that have tons of knowledge.
Did you get the right reviews?
Wrong show.
Yeah, wrong show guy.
I'm literally.
You're in the right. You're in the right spot, Jeremy.
I'm like, how is that not?
They're all from Facebook.
Oh, okay. All right. Good. All right. So
It's like, what are you talking about?
Next review.
Michael M says, funny commentary, tells it like it is.
That's what's up.
Wayne L, amazing info, great coverage.
What?
I don't know. Keith P really liked the product reviews.
Okay.
Yeah, Facebook's weird, man.
Yeah.
They don't write a whole lot.
I thought Facebook was weird. Twitch is bizarre.
Yeah.
But they're gone now, so what does
Thank
that mean?
God.
Yeah, what happened with that? Like, they were there, and now they're gone.
Aaron got bored because everybody was going to stab him.
Yeah, there was, hey, that feels good. Dude, please eat something. I'm like, clearly we eat plenty. Anyway, that's how that goes.
I want to eat something right now.
Leave us a review, whether Facebook or iTunes or iHeartRadio, whatever. We appreciate it. It'd be awesome. Let me highlight these for you, Aaron.
Thanks.
Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome. But let's go ahead and get this all wrapped up here.
I like how he highlighted them in a color that's almost identical.
Sorry, it's all I could do quickly. I was trying to do too much. Oh, now they're calling Carolina Carol Baskin.
Whoa.
Yeah, wow.
Wait, but did she murder her husband?
Let a tiger eat him?
Yeah.
I've never seen the show.
Or a bear. Wait, are you serious?
Yeah, never watched 1 minute.
Why?
I'm not interested.
You got to watch it.
I don't want
to. I've not watched any of it either, to be honest with you.
You guys both have to watch it. It's so good.
I've never.
Well, you're not my mom. You don't tell me what to do.
Every time you think it can't get more up, it gets more up.
And now she's saying she has no husband, which is clearly
yeah, because she buried him under the septic tank or let the tigers eat him.
I think she's just trying to get one of you guys for her husband.
I'm married.
Nick's offering.
Nick Offerman. I love Nick Offerman.
Only Jeremy's mom.
Yeah, I think
Jeremy.
Oh, none of us are single, are
Jeremy, why do you got punched in the face?
Yeah, did you get hit in the head?
Well, when he went
right here,
you look like under your eyes. It looks like somebody went boom, boom.
No, it's probably sunburn.
You know that's cancer causing.
Go ahead,
right there.
He went to hit himself in the hand with the hammer, and instead he hit himself in the face.
With what?
The hammer.
Because he saw his reflection and he thought it was a Medusa.
Well, yeah.
I don't think that's how it works.
He's like, you.
You'll never take me alive.
Hey, Jeremy.
What?
How are you?
I wouldn't pay attention to anything you fucking idiots were saying.
Jeremy's all.
All right. This week
I like how Savage does that, like he's slapping a on his face. He's like,
it's a motion Jeremy's really familiar with. Which
I mean, I've seen girls and do it, and Savage did it perfectly.
Jeremy's like, suddenly I have
Anybody? Well, I'm
I'm
just saying my wife's very pregnant, and it's been a minute.
So today
I'm glad you're in Ohio.
This week we're actually releasing a review of the finally of the Polymer 80 PF320 PTEX grip module for the 6-hour P320, and turns out really liked it. I actually hate the normal P320 frames, but I do love the Polymer 80 stuff, and it's pretty much exactly what we expected it to be. That video will be coming out. It's available on their website under $60 with our coupon code, which is WLS's Life, 15% off everything. They've also got their Magwell adapters, or their Magwells, that fit on the P320EX, and those are available on the website as well. You can also use the coupon code for that.
Did you see that SIG said that they're going to release some trigger packs?
No.
Yeah, so SIG is going to be releasing some trigger packs.
Dude, I'm in.
It's almost as though they saw these grip modules.
Yeah.
And we're like, well.
Wouldn't even fit my Glock?
No.
I know.
You
know.
You know what I find funny?
What?
This is how often I wear a hat. This is the haircut that I have had for like 20 years.
Oh, we know.
And everybody's like, what's wrong with Jeremy's haircut? Like, this is the haircut that I've had for 20 years.
He got it in boot camp and never changed.
Well, I had it before boot camp. I've had a flat top or a high and tight for a long time. And now, but I don't have my hat on. So he's like, what's up? No, this is what my hair looks like, you dumb
You know, I have a similar conversation with Tyler every time she's like, I'm going to do this with my hair, that with my hair. I'm like, I have had the same haircut since I was like 12. Just decide on one and stick with it.
I've had the same haircut since I was 23.
You decided pretty late, apparently.
No.
It's pretty indecisive of you, Shawn.
I was like 15 years old. Like,
I've had a beard since
I mean, I don't know. Like, who gives a shit? I wake up and I put a hat on and I go.
I had Motley Crue hair until I was 23, and then I've had, I don't know, Fudd Boomer hair since then.
I did not get a haircut for a year when I got out of the Marine Corps, because like I was like, all right, I'm done. I'm tired. I've gotten a haircut every week for like 4 years. Like, I'm not doing it anymore. And then, so I didn't get a haircut or shave for a year. And
it's such a chore.
And my hair was down to like my collar on my shirt, and I couldn't stand it, and I hated it. And I went and got my haircut, and I might have let it grow out a little bit, like once or twice since then, but generally speaking, high and tight.
Can we see you with 1 year of hair growth?
I don't want to do it. I just
can you do a mullet?
I will tell you this. I like when winter comes, I generally don't get a haircut. So from like October to like February, March, I don't get a haircut, and it gets pretty long. But like,
Jeremy, winter is coming.
I know winter is coming, so that'd be like the only time you guys would actually see me.
So exact haircut you have now, just let the back grow out.
Yes.
Swear to God, I will pay you.
No, you couldn't pay me enough.
The guy that taught me how to run a gun drill, right? Like to drill rifle barrels. He'd been in Vietnam, and after he'd been what's the word when they
touched by an angel?
No, like
molested. He burned down a village.
No, when they force you to go in, what's the
cut off the ears of his enemies, warm as a necklace?
God, no, that
recruited. He was
draft card. He got drafted. He drafted. He went to Vietnam. He did his thing. He came back. He got out of the army. And he'd been forced to be, clean shaven and get his hair cut or whatever. So he was like, F that. He had never cut his facial hair since he got out of Vietnam, right? So this dude had the longest, biggest, rattiest beard I'd ever seen. I was like, you haven't even like trimmed off the split ends or anything? He was like, no. He's like, I refuse. I was like, oh, okay.
So you're hanging with ZZ Top?
I was like, but if you just cut like an inch off the bottom, it's already like 28 inches. So if you just like, cut a little bit off, it'd look better. And he was like, no.
Iron Chin had a really good beard.
Yeah. Before Savage High pointed him.
Yep.
Whoa.
So speaking of beards, I've had a beard since I was 16, or facial hair since I was 16. Yeah.
I had a goatee forever. And I only started growing a beard when we started doing WLS.
Yeah.
So Nick, your beard is fuller, but I think my beard now is finally longer.
Yeah, I just recently trimmed mine.
Let's go to the camera here.
I went to do some trimming, and Tyler was like, I don't like that. Yeah, you should trim your beard.
So what you guys should do is kiss and see whose beard's longer.
Put your face over in the close-up.
All right, now put your face in the close-up too, Shawn.
And Aaron's over here like I'm about to finish.
2 dudes, 1 beard.
Shawn, you probably should trim.
Why?
Just saying.
In fact, at work, I'd get in trouble. Like, you're supposed to shave. And I'd be like, I did. Oh, you mean my face?
Oh.
Hey.
Brazilian.
Oh, you know it. I got a landing strip. It's weird.
He's a Brazilianaire.
But like, you guys near your balls, right?
Yeah.
Cool.
I don't know. I can't see. I don't stare at my ass in the mirror.
Savage, do you near your butthole?
No.
Really?
Oh.
You ever try shaving with Nair?
I feel bad.
No, but I've used Nair on my.
On your what?
You gotta get magic.
Did you say your like you only have one?
My butt's.
Oh,
my holes. You ever had a girl tell you need some attentions paid to your holes?
So when I go in for a colonoscopy, I get the Nair that's meant for like the sensitive areas, and I use it on my butt because here's the thing: that poor doctor has to stare at nasty holes all day while he's doing colonoscopies.
Yeah, but hold on.
Do you bleach it for him?
No, because you're like,
but the least I can do. The least I can do is make it slightly less nasty.
When he looks at mine, I want him to be in awe of its austerity.
No, I just want him to be like, thank God, no dingleberries this time.
Dude, you know what? They get paid enough. I mean, I should just myself and go in there.
Honestly. Like, why do you care what the doctor thinks of your butthole?
It's not that I care what the doctor thinks. It's that I want to be a fucking courteous, nice.
To be fair, Nick's had people staring at his hole his whole life. Where for us, it's kind of like a weird thing. For Nick, it's like Tuesday.
Also, every time I go in for a colonoscopy, I want to write some sort of humorous message on my butt cheeks, but I can never come up with something good.
What
Exit only?
Hey, Doc, I shaved my for you.
I didn't shave it. I used in there.
Like, I shaved my hole for this.
I shaved for this.
Question mark.
My buddy of mine, there's a product called Magic. It's made for black guys to use on their face.
Okay, the first time I saw that, I was like, wait, is this a real thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's what he used on his...
it's like shaving powder or whatever.
You called somebody tonight, but you won't say
James.
No, just on his... Like that's where I was just being,
James A says, here everyone was thinking Shawn was the one with the SSB when Nick.
No, sir. You see, here's the thing. I have a thing called pancolitis. You should look it up. I have pictures if you really want to see.
It's ribbed for her pleasure. I mean, his pleasure on the inside.
It's not ribbed. It's like cratered like the moon, except there's sores.
Wait, is there
lots of poop all over? It's very red.
Hold on. So what you're saying is there's a dude with hooves playing flute in your
his ass is a flute that's Pan plays. Okay, anyhow, so let's go back to this magic. I want to know more about it.
Oh, yeah.
It's a product called Magic. It's like Nair, but it's made for your face because black guys, their facial hair, it's really curly. And when they get razor burn really quick.
Yeah.
So a lot of guys in the military would use this magic instead of shaving because otherwise they'd get razor burn really fucking bad.
So and then you got a friend who used it on his
Friend who just used it on his to do that up instead of shaving it.
Did it burn?
No, because it's made for a more sensitive area like your face.
Oh.
So
So like someone's face and that guy's equal. They all look the
Yeah,
same.
my dog's in your face.
Oh,
Same thing. 1-to-1.
A buffalo fart in your breath. 1-to-1.
Have you guys seen the ads for the trimmers that are meant for manscaping?
What?
Like the trimmers that are meant for like the trimmer, like the beard trimmers.
Yeah.
But they're meant for manscaping.
Mm-hmm.
So here's my thing. What's different about them?
Nothing.
It keeps you from cutting your
Marketing.
Because
It's
Like,
small.
I
It's
tried.
smaller, right? It's just.
I don't
thinner.
know. Like I have tried. If you know, write us. Let us know. But like I have, used the beard trimmer and cut my like it's not cool.
So that's shaving cream. They make a product.
It comes in a cardboard can, like Ajax or something, but shorter.
So I have cut my when shaving.
Yeah, there you go, right there. The shaving powder.
Which one?
All of them. They're just different.
Go with the gold standard, man. Gold
Well,
standard.
I want the cheap one.
Okay, let's see it.
Yeah,
Dude, if I'm going to be shaving with my, I want the most expensive stuff ever.
Shawn
I
only.
don't want to f that shit up.
Barbasol for your bear.
Shawn would use the entire can of that in one run. It was so long.
All right. It's time to wrap this up.
Shawn's are so long that he can snap them like a whip.
Join group such as FPC, GOA, or SAF.
He just vomits afterwards. That's all.
Snap that whip.
Indiana Jones got nothing on me. Join FPC. They're good. Thanks to our guest, Derek DeBross from Munitions Group for joining us. Go check them out, their YouTube channel, their website, their social media, all that good stuff. There's a website you can go to, lovewls.com. You can do 4 things there. You can find our swag shop. You can
buy water for a puppy.
Join the cult. You can find a list of coupon codes and all of our sponsors, links to the websites, how to save money on everything. And you can also become a rooftopper. And all that stuff is there. LoveWLS.com is the place that you can do it. We're here live every week, Mondays and Wednesdays on demand every single day. Go to WeLikeShooting.com/show to subscribe. And as we always say, thank you for listening. Get medical training, buy a lubricated MPA, and
Shoot straight.
I win. I won.
No, I said it first.
Okay.
No. I said it first.
So many possible titles. I've got What the Doctor Thinks, 2 Dudes, 1 Beard, Winter is Coming, Water-Necked, Eiffel Tower, Tears in Heaven, Comb on Your Beard, and Ears of Enemies.
What about
When did we say water net? I missed that.
We were talking about homegirl getting an enema on her neck or whatever.
Oh, okay. Oh, water neck. I think you said water net.
No, Water-Necked. So what is it?
Comb on a beard.
Comb on your beard.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that one.
Morpheus wants us to comb on his beard. Water-Necked. Look, I'm a little bit drunk. I don't know what I wrote down. Comb on my beard. That one. Done. Bye, guys. And girl.
Bye, guy.
Wait, we have a girl? Grill?
Did you think that show was worth $1? Help the cast by visiting lovewls.com.